What up, people? Tawok, Mack, and Swill here, bringing you episode 2 of the motherfucking Haters Ball, the aftermath. What is up, homies?
Yo, yo, yo. What up?
What's up?
So it's probably most logical to start off, since we call this fucking thing the aftermath, with the fucking aftermath. Who should we start with, man? That's a tough call.
Well, first off, what up, everybody? Everybody in the chat. Oh man, that GIF is so perfect for tonight.
That is the perfect. I just wish I had the ability to edit GIFs so I could put tie-dye on that faggot.
That is awesome. And then you got the young guy. The Mack. Hey, you left my
Say hi, Mack. Hi.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
All right.
I'm just trying right now. I'm trying to get the live stream from Tawok shit, but I can't pull it up. I'm not seeing anything. So go ahead, do your thing, guys. What do you want to recap last one?
Yeah. So I guess we were just going to talk about the aftermath of the first Haters Ball, which apparently was a pretty big success. I mean, a lot of people enjoyed it and laughed their asses off. At least I know we did. And,
I sure did. I know that.
What was awesome about it was just the reaction we got. It was actually exactly what we wanted, pretty much from who we wanted, or at least what we expected anyways. I mean, didn't really expect Wit or Paul or any of those guys.
I didn't expect a full-blown fucking review from these people.
Yeah. To have our Haters Ball reviewed, that was like, yeah, that was beyond expectations for sure. But
I was actually pleasantly surprised by a lot of things. I think actually some good things came out of it. Celerity, I think he kind of took it with a grain of salt and had a good sense of humor about it.
True.
And it kind of ended up being a positive as far as his interactions now with us. And I was glad to see that. That was pretty cool. A couple other guys maybe were able to kind of look at themselves and be able to look in the mirror and laugh a little bit and stop taking themselves so seriously, right? Like that kind of. So that was kind of a positive thing that came out of it.
A lot of people thought that we had some kind of like hidden agenda, like we were, like we were on some kind of mission, and it was like we were literally just wanted to laugh at people. Like there was not, no hidden agenda, meaning behind it.
Speaking of hidden agendas, it's really important that we lay it out right now. This is not sponsored by TRS. We are not affiliated with the staff of TRS, and they do not condone making entire podcasts devoting to hating shit. So you guys definitely need to get that through your fucking heads.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's actually good you brought that up, because we know some people out there are going to try to use that against Luke and TRS and shit. And yeah, I mean, we're fortunate enough that TRS lets people actually do shit like this, but it's definitely not their thing. They just kind of give us the platform for it. But these are just our opinions and all that stuff. So
yeah, they definitely don't reflect the staff or the moderators or the owners of TRS, although we do appreciate them allowing us to use their website as a I don't know, whatever you'd call it. But yeah, now that we got that out of the way, yeah. So don't give them shit for the stuff we say.
Plus, we needed to say that, right, in case it gives us some legal ground against Tom, right?
Well, we will get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here. It was actually funny you brought that up with Celerity, because that was actually part of the aftermath too. Is you actually had, like, I was actually surprised by that. Celerity actually kind of did a total 360, and like he took it with good grace, and which is why we didn't give him any shit afterwards. And it was, and I think Street Marine, he took it kind of well too, didn't he? And you went hard on him.
Live, man.
Yeah. That was actually part of the aftermath too. Is you actually had like.
Mack, you feeding back, bro? We have 40 viewers right now. How many people are on HHOUR?
I have to look. It's definitely not going to be 40. He took it kind of well too, didn't he?
Last I checked, it was 35 for a 24-hour peak, so that's pretty pathetic.
Matt, what's going on over there, man? What the fuck?
Yeah, man, what the fuck, bro?
I think I'm lagging out a little bit. Hold on, I'm trying to get to walk live, and I'm lagging out a little bit. Can you guys hear me?
God damn it, Mac.
Wow, we don't have to total fucking nukes right now or anything, right? We didn't even have these problems the first time we did. You would think the second time we wouldn't have these problems at all.
God damn it, dude. Okay, so my favorite part of the Aftermath has got to be Wild Eye's review. That made me warm and fuzzy inside, man. To see his formatted, beautiful review, point for point, paragraph entry, it was just my highlight of the Aftermath.
Yeah, he took it real personal. But it was, and what was funny too was like, he kind of got super offended by it. And then there was Monkey, right? Monkey who actually threatened to beat us all up or something. He threatened to beat all our asses. And, whoa, come down to where I live and I'll kick your ass and all kinds of shit. It was like, Jesus, man. But
man, turn the live stream off. If you're viewing the live stream right now, bro, you gotta pause it or turn it off, man.
Yeah, I just did. Yeah, my shit's all messed up over here. Sorry about that.
But
Luke had the pro tip on that one.
Yeah, Mac, what did you think of Wild Eye? Wild Eye's fit of ass pain.
I don't know. Like it's difficult to tell with those guys. They're so angry. So you really don't know where they're coming from. It's just they're just so fucking angry, man. They're mad about everything, and they see some guys having fun and laughing about shit, and they just don't know what to do. I mean, the hatred comes out of them. I mean, we call this the haters ball, but the real hatred is from those guys. And since they're obviously, they use proxies, and I'm sure that, at least a half of them are staff members or somehow affiliated with SOF. It's unfortunate we don't know who. We could speculate, but it really is. You could see, you really push buttons on these guys, and they dance to your tune. They really do fall right in line and go right to the old same tired tactics, and they lash out.
Yeah, who do we think Wild Eye is? Any guesses? Specifically?
He says he's a German that wears lederhosen on a daily basis, bro.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure. I mean, I wouldn't say Paul. Paul isn't that angry, even though, I mean, he's a bitter little cocksucker, but he's not as angry. Like, Wild Eye is like, he's got some serious fucking hatred. I think I might be Shotgun. I mean, because Shotgun really, right? He really he hates us, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But he hasn't been around, has he? Because after he kind of embarrassed the shit out of himself and the studio.
Wild-eyed.
Huh?
He's wild-eyed. That's why he hasn't been around.
That's true. But I was telling, we were talking about Monkey, how Monkey threatened to kick our asses and beat the shit out of us because we made
yeah.
Internet tough guy Monkey.
Fucking idiot.
Monkey definitely, you could see he got frayed around the edges because he thought it was funny at first, and he tried to be a smartass about it. But then when he got called on it, he got pushed a little bit, he instantly reverted to the "I'll fuck you up" type thing. And that was the best. Because on the internet, you got to somebody when they actually seriously tell you they're going to fucking kick your ass. And that's what happened with him. So we know we got to you, Monkey, you fucking wormy cocksucker. You got mad, you
fell right into the trap. And that was exactly what we wanted. And we got exactly what we wanted out of those people, which was like major ass pain. Just it was beautiful, man. It was great. I mean, and for them to do a review, to review our haters ball was just perfect. But I think the icing on the cake was the lovers ball, right? I mean that's kind of like the biggest compliment you can really get. We could have gotten.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know what to even say about that fucking guy. I mean, we're going to go more into detail with that piece of shit later, but yeah. I mean, honestly, even if you wanted to put a show up against ours to try and kind of counteract what we were doing, to actually call it the lovers ball which I guess is ironic since the Supreme Court just said gay marriage is the law of the land. I guess that fits shit, but I mean, you got to be kidding me, man. What a fucking joke.
Yeah, but I think tonight they're trying to counteract this again. Isn't that right? Chat. I think they got like
they're trying to counteract us, but they're not calling it some gay shit like the Lovers Ball. They're just doing like a giveaway of a game. So yes, get a game for free that has less than a dozen people on typically.
Here's your free copy of H-Hour, the single player campaign. Oh, I thought it was only online. No, it is, but it's still single player. Like, hey, Tom, I thought you were only doing online. This is a single player. No, that's the best thing about H-Hour. It's online and single player at the same time.
It's perfect. I mean, who the fuck is going to show up for that? Probably some. It is probably some dork who wants a second copy just to prove it. Yeah, we had a winner today.
I'd go on there. I mean, I would if I had the
specs
to play.
I actually should have gone over to his stream just so I could win a copy of it and just go in there and team kill the shit out of them every hour of every fucking day. Like,
there's nobody to team kill, bro.
Somebody in our stream, go over to theirs and try to win the games. You can go in and just team kill them for us. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, all they would have to do is mention to their big daddy Tom once that you did it. The Swill guy fucking was on H-Hour. Like, just you being on H-Hour would get you banned from the game.
Oh. Yeah, I think we're pretty much on the blacklist, right? Like, how like the military has like a deck of cards? Like I'm pretty sure we're like ace, king, and queen. Pretty much.
The jack of spades. Luke's the ace of spades. Now, what is it? What would he do though if you actually team killed Tom in H-Hour? Would he then press charges for assault on you and sue you?
Slandering him with a bullet.
That's mental assault.
He probably would. But does he play his own game? Does he even play that shit?
That's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, some people are right. They have a point. Like, I don't even know if you can team kill in that game. Can you? I heard it. I don't think so. Well, they didn't have it built in yet. They didn't make it yet. You guys
should be able to team.
Oh. We're up to 107
who knows
viewers.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
So is that triple what H-Hour has online right now? And how many does TieDie have with this little gay giveaway?
I don't know.
I would say though, I mean, just to give a final analysis to the aftermath of the first Haters Ball.
Yeah.
I think I had a great time. I know you guys did. I hope a lot of people gave us some good feedback, and I'm glad they enjoyed it. But honestly, I think aside from that, I think some positives that came out of it were, like we said, celebrity took it well, and he kind of was able to get past it and laugh it off. And I also think, even though we put him pretty high on our top 10 list last time, was Eagle F-15.
Yeah.
I got to give him props. He came on, he was respectful, he was polite. And he kind of came over, said his piece, and he kind of proved what we've been saying all along. If you come over and you act right, you can get treated with respect. And I think he did, and I think he saw that. And when he comes over and you talk to us like gentlemen, we're going to treat you the same. Like, we're not just going to blindly lash out at you. And I'm glad that
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Swill.
No. I mean, I still think he's a shill, but I mean, at least he's a shill who has the balls to come over and engage us. Like, he's not afraid to do it. So I definitely give him props for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. People can like whatever they want to like, and they can show for whatever they want to show for. But I respect his position as far as like he's one of them guys who's like, hey, he'll push and support and promote anything that he thinks can get him the game he wants, and whatever. At the end of the day, if that's how he wants to go about it, that's fine. So he's not hurting anybody by doing what he does. And frankly, out of all those pussies over at SOF and all the whiners and the faggots, he's never been one of the guys who talks about that hater shit where he's like, oh, they're ruining the game, it's all their fault. He's just he's just a positive guy. You know, he says positive shit, and he's got the pom poms and all, but he never really took shots at TRS. So, you know, I give the guy the benefit of the doubt, and I kind of respect the fact that he came over and he tried to engage us. You know,
Yeah, that's a fair thing. I can agree with that.
I mean, is that not the beauty of TRS? Is at the end of the day, when this fucking studio closes down, and when the Sony forums go down, and when the next bullshit forums go down, TRS will welcome all these people back. We're gonna give them shit, but they're gonna fucking have a place at the end of the day to come home to and talk about SOCOM and relive their nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're like the Oakland Raiders to the gaming community. You know. Like give us your tired and your weak and your huddled masses, and you can come over and hang out with us.
Poor fucking Raiders.
Because he really did. He's not like the other ones. Like the other SOF shills, they shill and they also hate on us, and they blame everything from the rain to their wife cheating on them to everything else on TRS. Eagle doesn't do that. He realizes that he's promoting the game, but at the end of the day, we don't like the game. He does, and he's just doing the best he can. So he has a place there, and as long as he doesn't talk shit like the other guys do, nobody's gonna give him shit about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of fuck nuts, how about that? Did you see that shit today with that guy Plexus? Did you see that?
Yeah,
what is that,
I wouldn't even bother like talking about that fucking toolbox because he popped up. Yeah, he popped up, started talking some shit today, and I wouldn't even give him the satisfaction of talking about him. I mean, there's better people and better shit to talk about.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
we'll quick before we move on to the how about that petition started by Suede to have Celerity euthanized?
That's like a new fucking low for Suede, and I didn't think that guy could go any fucking lower, man.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Suede is obviously seriously disturbed and do some really crazy shit, but that was like that's got to be the tip of the iceberg. I've never seen him go. It's crazy.
That's like a new fucking. Are you fucking watching the stream again, Mac?
Mac, turn off the stream. You can't do it. Just give it up.
Fuck you guys. That wasn't me.
It's like calling into a radio station and talking on the phone with it in the background.
That wasn't me, goddammit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you even hear what we were just talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about Suede. No, I heard you. Yeah. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like I mean, there's really nothing more to say about it. The guy is a piece of shit. There's no depths he won't sink to, and he showed that again. I mean,
here's an interesting question. What do you think, Suede? Do you think that Suede will show back up at TRS when HHOUR finally crashes into the fucking canyon? Like, do you think he'll actually show back up at TRS and just kind of?
Absolutely.
My guess is he's just going to show back up and pretend like nothing happened. Hey guys, what's going on? Like he's done a million.
No, I think he will, and he'll fully acknowledge what he did and do sort of like another apology tour. And the reason I say that is because I know Suede smokes crack. He's admitted that before on TRS. He's admitted that he has smoked crack. And what he'll do is he'll get drunk and he'll go on some type of crack bender and he'll get lonely and he'll come on there and he'll do something like an apology tour and ask for forgiveness. And the fucked up part is we'll forgive him.
Well, yeah, we should. We want him around. We need him.
Yeah.
He's our fucking punching bag. Like it's not the same without him. I actually miss him being around.
No. I'll be the first to admit, as much shit as I talk about him and as low as my opinion is of him, he's a fucking gold mine of material. And the place definitely is not the same without him.
Yeah. I miss the shit out of that guy. Suede, if you're listening out there, come back, man. We miss you. We will welcome you with open arms. Happily.
I second that. Please, Suede, just
We'll
come
only
back,
kick him
man.
in the
All's
ribs for a
forgiven, buddy.
while.
Yeah. All Suede, all is forgiven. Come back home. Come back home to your 3 daddies. Come on.
We want you back, buddy. It's fine. Things will work out. And you know he's getting ready to because there's 0 players on HHOUR. So if he's not even playing a game, then I don't even know what to say about that game.
Yeah. But, all right. Yeah, so the aftermath of the first Haters Ball was kind of neat. Like the ass pain, and it was interesting to see the reactions from people like Celerity and Street and Eagle and all them. But what about so more recent events with oh, actually no, the thing we were going to do some questions, right, with the chat first.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to look at the live stream, so I don't even know if there are any questions.
You can pause the live stream to watch the chat, bro.
Yeah, dude, you can. Yeah, like I have the live stream up. I just have the video feed on pause and the audio muted, and then you can see the chat.
Oh, the chat will go.
Yeah, you can still
see. That's all fancy techno babble shit. I don't know about all that.
Are you on like fucking AOL 9.0 dial-up or something? Like what?
No, I'm on my phone, but I don't know how to do all that. What do I got to pause the video?
Just pause the video on Twitch and then have the chat up.
Fuck you. I'm going over to SOF. You guys are assholes. Hold on a second.
We'll trade you for Suede. I'd make that trade.
Fuck you, man.
But,
well, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, field some questions. See,
yeah.
Let's see what I'm trying to do this.
So chat. Does anybody have any questions about anything, like about us or the first Haters Ball or something we didn't touch on that you want to ask about? Or we're going to talk about tie-dye next, so you don't need to bring that up. Trust me, we've got that shit covered. But if you have any questions about anything or that you want us to answer, if you want to call us pieces of shit, or if you want us to make a statement about something, just throw it out. There's only one twist for me. Peanut butter left to it. The fuck?
What the fuck was
it's
that?
giving me the... Dude, it's the Nick, the 98 Degrees guy commercial when I log in.
We're going to talk about tie-dye next. Why Mack must hide his face? Well, Mack has this disorder where he's got like 1,000 warts all over his face. It's like a fucking freak of nature. Trust me, I've seen it and it's unpleasant. You don't. No, I don't know, Mack. You tell him. Why don't you have your? Tell him for the millionth time why you don't have your. Why Mack must hide his face? Mack, what are you doing?
All right.
Mack, turn your sound off. I don't know, Mack. You tell him. Why don't you have your? Tell him a million times why you don't have your. Tawok, you know what he's doing?
I have no idea what he's doing. There's a little pause button, or you can take the little slider for the volume all the way down.
No, there's not. I'm telling you, there's not. I'm on my phone. I can't see that fucking thing because I'm on the Twitch app. I gotta go on the website. You guys
there has to be a pause and a play button.
There's no pause icon. I'm telling you. I just get the feed, like it shows me a full screen of the.
Can you turn the volume down?
No, because there's no volume icon. All I got is my side rocker on the phone. Go ahead. I don't need to turn it back on. Just go ahead. I'll go off.
No, somebody wanted to know why you don't show your face.
Because I'm fat, bald, unemployed, and I live in my basement, in my mother's basement, and I have a lot of acne and a very small penis, and I'm scared to show my face. Does that clear everything up now?
That clears it all up, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you got me. It's not because I'm on my phone, and I don't feel like holding my phone out like I'm taking a selfie for 2 fucking hours all night. It's because I'm embarrassed to show myself. So you got me.
To be fair, that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about David Sears' inability to use the correct hashtag? No comment. I don't know.
That's the question, huh?
I guess as long as he can make a game, I don't really care what his hashtag skills are like. But who knows? Any other questions? Anybody else? Anybody want to
Phenom
talk
asked
shit
how
to
we
us?
felt about our new double agent.
What's that?
I don't know. We're still
Phenom
sold
asked
on you, Phenom.
how we feel about his double agency.
Ooh. I don't know. My judgment is still out. So, he could be playing us all right now, brilliantly, and it could be all be a grand scheme for him to come and infiltrate our community. No, I don't know. I mean, that's possible, but maybe by openly claiming he's a double agent, he tries to diffuse the fact that he is a double agent by making it seem like he's not by being obvious, right? I mean, that's possible.
He services the highest bidder,
I don't know. Yeah, he does some weird likes.
To come and infiltrate our community.
I mean, he'll like.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's possible, but maybe by. Mack, can I just say something? You are really fucking this up. I'm just gonna put that out there. The fact that he is a double agent by making it seem like he's not by being obvious, right? I mean, that's possible.
Okay, somebody did ask a really good question. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, he does some weird. What, in terms of SOCOM?
Somebody asked a really good question. Where do we go from here?
In terms of what? The haters ball, SOCOM, H-Hour, what are they talking about?
Probably in terms of SOCOM, man.
Well, I don't know. Wait. What else can we really do? I mean, there's SOCOM Remastered. Looks the whole campaign for that looks pretty awesome.
That hashtag took off.
Like, yeah, and it looks like it could really amount to something. I think the next. I was telling Big Fry that I think the next big step for that is to get some of the old school celebrities that played it, like Kevin Garnett and Method Man and all them, to kind of tweet it. And if you can get them to tweet it, I think that would take it to another level too. So, but I mean, I guess you just have to wait for that, and then see what happens with that, and then if that doesn't work, or if it looks like it's not going to work, I still think the billboard is a really cool idea, and I know a lot of people are still into the billboard idea. Otherwise, what can you do besides wait around, you know, and just kind of be patient? I mean, that's always been my stance. I'm not, you know, I'm not like I love SOCOM, but I'm not like obsessed with it. Like, you know, I can wait 5-10 years. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. So if it takes 5 or 10 years for the game to come back at some point, which I think it will eventually, I can wait. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. There's other shit to play, other things to do. So, you know, it's not. I'm not like dying without SOCOM or anything. But I don't know how you feel about it.
I personally,
can you guys hear me?
I've never had. Well, I can hear you, Mac. I've never not had a game to play. Like, ever since SOCOM 3 fucked the bed for me, I just went over to playing Star Wars Galaxies and being a complete MMO nerd. And now I play Counter-Strike and Insurgency. And I'm not dying for SOCOM so bad that I'm gonna let some douchebag infinite hero pull one over on me to get it.
Yeah, I think a couple people brought up a good point. A possibility of maybe through the SOCOM Remastered campaign that maybe Sony goes to pitches it to David Sears and Edge of Reality, the studio he's at now. I mean, that would be. They have experience making games. I think third-person shooter games. They have money. They're actually a fucking studio, unlike a certain studio we know about. They don't have a fucking Staples employee making their games, and you know, with an office run by the owner's girlfriend and all kinds of horse shit. It's like they actually have experience. They have the talent and the ability, and they have the resources, and you know it's certainly possible, you know.
Do you think Sears is all so calmed out though at this point? I mean, Christ, the guy. I mean, he's went through a lot of shit with SOCOM. I mean, even if they pitched it to him, do you think he'd still have the passion there to really even want to do it at this point?
I think so. I mean, he just came out and like helped spread the building the list thing for SOCOM Remastered. He said, "I love SOCOM. There's no doubt about it," and he retweeted it and stuff. So, I think.
Well, maybe,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was it Tawok? Were you going to say something?
Oh no, man, I'm good.
No, I just said maybe, you know, maybe the fact if it was pitched to him and he had you know, the real resources of a real studio behind him, maybe that would kind of rekindle his passion to get it done. You know, that would be nice.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I can see that happening. But
Okay,
all
Paul
right, well, we can get back to what's that? Sorry?
Everybody's favorite OG, triple OG, Paul Awal, asked how we feel about David revealing that he had to take a coroner's job to make ends meet while he was making HHOUR.
No way. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, man. Pink announced that he
You
took
didn't
a
read
coroner's
that,
job.
No
Well,
way.
let's get this. Hold on. Let's put this in the right perspective. David Sears didn't announce that. Paul Awal posted that and attributed it to his sources. Now, I'm not saying Paul's a liar, and I'm not saying it's not true, but that's where that came from. There's been no second level confirmation of that.
That's
fair. That's true.
That sounds really sketchy. Like, why would he? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. Maybe if he wanted, you know, H-Hour to work so badly, he was willing to do that, and then, you know, when things didn't work out, he just bailed or whatever. But I mean, that's pretty insane, actually. If that was the case, God dang.
No, I'm not. Now, Paul, I don't want you to take that the wrong way and have me, you know, feel like I'm calling you a liar. I'm not. I just mean, you know, we have to call it like we see it. That's attributed to you. You're the only person that said that. So there's no way for us to confirm or deny that. So, but if he did, you know, welcome to America. Everybody's got to work 2-3 jobs sometimes. So, and it's ironic that he took a job as a coroner, being that he was working on a game that was fucking dead the moment he left. So.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty ironic. Perfect. Somebody asked, do you think we could wait another 2 years for SOCOM? Like I said, I can wait 2, 5, 10 years. I don't give a fuck. I mean, like I just said, I mean, I love SOCOM and I had great times playing it. And if it came out, I'd play the shit out of it again as much as I could anyway with my time and stuff. But I'm not clung to it. I'm not attached to it. You know, it's just not, you know, like I said, if it comes back, great. I'll be happy like everybody else and I'll buy it like everybody else, you know, as soon as it's available. But if it's any good, I should say.
Yeah, shit, at this point, I mean, how long have we waited already? I mean, even if H-Hour was going along completely as predicted and going along right on pace, we'd still have to wait another year for that to be done correctly. So 2 years is nothing at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like,
well, you know,
it's
fucking 50s playing this game, you know?
Yeah, it's like the people that say, "Oh, I can't wait any longer. I'm done with SOCOM." It's like, I mean, just what do you have to lose by waiting around? Nothing's going to change anyway. You're not going to lose out on anything. Just wait and see what happens. It's like,
yeah, that's really all you can do. Yeah. I think that's why it's so frustrating though, to be in such a powerless position. I mean, we want SOCOM like, you know, like a guy wants pussy. And when you want some pussy, you have the power to control that so you can go out and get some. Like if you want pussy and, you know, it's not working out for you, you go to the gym, you know, try and work on yourself, get a little game, go out, hit the clubs, get some pussy. But with SOCOM, it's up to other people. It's completely out of our hands. So every time we have to rely on a group of fucking retards and scumbags like SOF or Slant 6 or whoever the case may be, and to continually get shit on, you get chump syndrome. You just feel like a fucking chump sitting around waiting for other people to give you what you want.
Well, hey, one last question before we move on to kind of the main course. Ice Pizzle, I think it's Ice Pick.
You guys answered
said,
questions. I got to answer you real quick.
Said, what are Mack's feelings on Tom refusing to accept his fight challenge? Will it get worse than refusing to take any responsibility for anything and targeting forum members?
Is that, you want me to answer that?
So what are your feelings on Tom refusing to accept your fight challenge?
My feelings on that are, I'm disappointed, obviously, but less so for myself than for, you know, the community. I think that would have been, something fun. Obviously, I think it shows that he doesn't truly care about getting H-Hour funded, because if he did, surely a special forces badass like Tom would have no problem coming to New Jersey and throwing on the gloves and hitting the mats with a guy like me. I mean, he should be able to take care of me, no problem. And based on the pay-per-view numbers, he could probably pay Kevin for at least 3-4 months off of that.
Yeah. Well, wait. He said, hit the mass or hit the mass assists? Hey, hey.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys can stay on.
it's not that big a deal.
You guys can stand on the
Honestly,
giant fucking mattress and go at it.
yeah. Well, I'm not really that type though. I'm the type of guy. I'd actually just wait until he wasn't looking, and I'd sucker punch him. And if I didn't knock him out, then I'd just run. So it really, it wouldn't be much of a fight.
All right. So let's move on to the main course, which is tie-dye. Tie-dye, that rainbow shirt.
My God.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, where did this shit come from recently? Like, I know he was. First off, let's go back to the big beginning. So, like, where did this guy come into the picture? Because I know for like the past 2 years, this guy's been nowhere. And so, do you guys know where the fuck he came from? Like, where did he come from?
I have no idea.
Did Tom
he was
just
non-existent.
find him in the fucking mud and just said, "Here's a guy I can manipulate and, you know, wrap around my fucking pinky and use the shit out of," and just kind of.
He came out of the blue. I don't know what the fuck that was. I mean, is there? I know like these Twitch guys would do anything. They'd sell their fucking soul for some views. So is there some type of community where, you know, Twitch streamers in search of games to stream can meet up with developers that want to get their game streamed? Maybe that's something like that happened, because he really seems to think that there's some pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. When he was going off on his rant on that video edit that Phenom put up, you heard him say, like, hey dude, there's only 12 viewers now, but you're going to get that increased by 20,000-fold if you just stick with us and help us promote it. If it wasn't for those damn TRS guys, they're so fucking negative, dude. They're ruining everything, man. I'm here. I went to college for this shit, dude.
Oh, man.
No,
yeah,
fuck them, man. They get me so mad.
I think he came from Reddit. I think somebody, like, gave him some shit on Reddit about something, and he took it real personal. I think ever since then, he just kind of, who the fuck are these TRS guys? And he just came over and started digging around and just hated us ever since. I think that's where he came from.
I found it fucking comical that he literally was blaming the state of the game on TRS. not on the developers, not on the people who actually work on the fucking game, but on a website that isn't affiliated with SOF, which is a bunch of fans who are just reviewing the game. Somehow it's the reviewer's fault. So, like, when you go to see Jurassic Park 3 and you say, wow, that sucked, that's your fault that the movie sucked. I mean, like, really, you know, I don't understand that. Like, you didn't make the movie. You didn't shoot the film. You didn't write the script. You didn't do any of that. How the fuck is it TRS's fault that HHOUR sucks? And the funny thing is, he actually acknowledged it's in a sad state, because his exact words were, it's their fault. It's in the sad state that it's in. So obviously it's in a sad state. They have fucking 0 players. Like, how the fuck do you have a game that has 0 fucking players?
Is that right now?
Like a fucking 0 players. I don't know about right now, but somebody sent a screenshot where they had fucking 0 players. So can you imagine? You buy this fucking game. You're like, okay, whatever. I'm retarded. I'm going to spend $25 on this game. What the hell? And then you log on to play a game, and there's 0 fucking players. And then you call support, and you're like, I bought the game. Something's wrong because I can't get in the game. Well, why can't you get? There's 0 players. Like, no, that's accurate. Just run around in circles and shoot the buildings until somebody joins you. Fucking Tom, like, they actually have to call Tom at home. So they'll be like, hey, Tom, we got a player online, dude. Wake up. You got to get on. It's like, hold on. All right, I'll be right on. It's like, oh, this is fun, isn't it? Oh, no, wait. They couldn't talk to each other because there's no fucking team chat. Oh, okay. Like, hey, did you enjoy
tactical.
That? We were
it's
running around in
tactical,
circles shooting at each other.
It's tactical in
really
the same
tactical.
way that Navy SEALs should be passing each other written fucking notes to communicate.
Well, dude, like, from what I understand, like every single time TieDie has a chat, like a stream going, Tom has to go in there and tell him at some point, like, dude, we need like guys to be in the game. So can you like stop streaming so you can guys go and actually play? There's nobody in there. Everybody's all 12 of you are in this fucking stream. We need you to stop so we can actually get players in the game, man. And then TieDie's like, oh shit, my bad. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. And then he just
Dude, I mean seriously, like look at it this way. Their studio, if you're an employee at SOF Studios, essentially they're paying you to play a fucking video game, and they still can't get any players on. They still have 0 players. So they're paying people to play their fucking game, and they're still not playing.
Tom, get up! We got a hit. We got a number, man. We need you. Get up. We got a number on.
Hey Tom, we need a 2-on-2, buddy. Hop in there. Fucking 3 in the morning, man. Nope, you got to do it, Tom. Come on. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, that's. I don't know.
25 people.
25 people. He almost filled 2 servers with that. Are they actually playing?
Somebody.
Are they actually playing though?
Yo, anybody in chat who's over in TieDie stream, make sure you screenshot that. Screenshot the number count and save it, and post it on TRS. So that way we, can shove it in these fucks' faces after we're done tomorrow when we post tomorrow. Make sure you get that shit. But yeah, dude, that is hilarious. Tom, get up! We got a hit! We got a hit! We got one!
I mean, seriously, like, what does he do? Does he go to the homeless shelters around North Carolina and he's like, look, man, I need you guys. I'm gonna give you $5 and a sandwich, but you need to be able to play this game whenever I fucking call you. All right, just hop on and play it, because that's insane. I mean, like, even if you bought the game and you were genuinely trying to play it to figure it out, and there's nobody to play it with, how the fuck could you possibly make an educated review of the game? I don't see how they could possibly ever get any further than this. I mean, this is the bottom of the barrel. They're done, right? I mean, literally, they're done.
I have a thought. Tell me what you guys think. Because according to Steam, how many units have they sold? They sold like a couple thousand. What is it? How many units have they sold altogether?
I think when Luke did the math and broke it down. No, I think it was closer to 4, because like Luke was saying in his numbers that it was something like there were 6,000 total units, but when you factor in the amount of like pre-orders for the Kickstarter and everything, it's somewhere around 4,000 supposedly bought the game. So what I'm wondering is if you have, let's say, so somebody said 6,000 in the chat. I think I saw that number before too. So let's be really, really conservative and say they had 6,000 like sales so far or whatever. But there's only like 20 people that play the game on a daily basis. Do you guys think that it's possible that as part of like Tom's loan and all the collateral he gave up to get that loan and shit, do you think they spent money on soccer accounts, and they used that money to buy the game for those soccer accounts to inflate the numbers? You think I think that's probably possible. It's not out of the realm of reason, because when you actually look at the numbers and break it down, I mean, 6,000 people to not even be able to get 20 fucking morons who actually go, wow, okay, I like this game. Or, I mean, Christ, even family members. Yeah. If I came out with a game this shitty, I'd call some cousins and some friends or whatever, and I'd be like, dude, do me a favor. Just play this fucking thing for a while. Please just help me out. I'll buy you a pizza. I'll do something. I'll buy you a bottle of scotch. Just play this game for a couple. Yeah, something. The fact that they can't, even in their own studio, they can't. If I was the developer of a game and I saw there was 0 people playing my fucking game, the first thing I would do would be log on. Like Christ, do something. I mean, Jesus, it's beyond belief. So out of 6,000 people, even if 60 people are playing, you're telling me that 1%? No, that's 1/10 of 1%. Are even playing the game? Something's wrong with those numbers. I think if you have 6,000 sales, and let's say
2,000 or 2,500 of them are from people who got it for free, whatever, from Kickstarter or from the Kickstarter. I honestly think that the rest of them, I think not the rest of them, because you obviously have people that legitimately bought it and then realized they paid $25 for a fucking jank piece of shit and just gave up on it immediately. But I think the majority, over 50% of that 6,000 is SOC accounts used by SOFs to boost the numbers, so they can show investors, like, look, we've sold this much so far or whatever. Because we know they use SOC accounts because they use SOC accounts at their forums, right? They got like what?
Yeah, to boost their own membership. Yeah. Yeah, they have what, 11,000 active members? I mean, please give me a fucking break. The issue there though is how would he then reliquify that cash? I think like there would have to be some way. Although I guess if he took the loan and he purchased the game, essentially that's money going right back in his pocket.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad way to launder money.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Like, go sell a bunch of coke and then develop a video game and charge $75 for it and make 10,000 sales for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a scumbag. I look at things that way. So, yeah, maybe he's doing that because I guess if he took the loan out, let's say he took the loan out on credit, then he used the money to buy the games. So when he files Chapter 11, he could have that money and he could still have that cash, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he could figure something out. The guy worked in Black Ops, dude. I guarantee he knows all about, slush funds and offshore shit. The guy's just pocketing money until he can fucking skip town,
Yeah.
And then it's right back to Staples for Kevin. I mean, he's going right back to fucking Staples.
Hey, at least he's got a more promising career than the Infinite Hero.
Yeah. He's at least going to be managing the fucking office supply section because Tom's done.
He's like, at least I was making minimum wage at Staples. Shit.
TieDie at least be able to continue his cocksucking career.
Yeah, he's talk about fucking beer.
Oh my god. My favorite thing about TieDie and the TieDie crew is how they put that fucking overlay on HHOUR. Like, they make all that UI, like, little blue borders and, like, it's neon and shit. They make it look more attractive because the UI looks like it was developed by, I don't know, like a fucking Staples associate.
I mean, that's unfortunate, though. I mean, Kevin really got jammed up because, who knows, the kid might have talent, but he really got put in a bad spot, but he doesn't have the chops. I mean, they're still doing that fucking jump animation. It looks like the guy's on a pogo stick, for Christ's sake. I mean, even Redline did the Insurgency mod, and you could see the guy looks more athletic already. The guy, the character they use for HHOUR, his right elbow is like tucked against his hip the whole fucking time. He's running at full sprint. And that fucking elbow don't move. He just keeps running. That elbow ain't going anywhere. He's running in circles, not going anywhere. Yeah. Jumping, nope. Elbow's still there. Just the one guy has a signature where it's a GIF, where it's just that same kind of like slide jump over to the left, and it's fucking hysterical because the elbow doesn't go anywhere. It's like it's the stupidest looking animation I ever saw. But I think it's like Super Mario with camouflage.
Yeah. Like, with TieDie, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that he's, because Tom is obviously using the shit out of him because Tom has nobody left to use the shit out of. So Tom is obviously using the fuck out of him and already has a plan of when he's going to throw this guy onto the fucking bus like he's done with everybody else. But like, do you think TieDie is kind of wise to that, or do you think this guy is just such a fucking dumbass that he probably literally thinks that he's in? He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm in, and Tom's going to take care of me, and I'm going to get 20,000 followers, and I'm going to get like, which one do you think it is?
I think TieDie's a chubby fucking geek who used to get stuffed in gym lockers all through middle school and high school and probably got swirly and got his head put in toilets. And then when he got into online gaming, he found a group of even more beta douchebags who were even worse fucking geeks and nerds and clowns than him, and he became their alpha. and he actually believes the shit Tom's shoveling to him. So now he's on kind of like a power trip where he thinks he has some type of inside access, and he's kind of feeling that, you know, rush of, wow, I'm in the mix. I'm in the ground floor of a developing game, and in his brain, he actually thinks he's at, like, you know, he's in the ground floor of something that's going to blow up big. But in reality, it's just something that's going to blow up and shoot dog shit everywhere.
Yeah, he's a...
I mean, Christ, you heard the guys, like, what, in that video Phenom put up, when they put the guy's personal information up, he had that one fucking idiot in the background. They're like, send them pizzas. Let's all send them pizzas. What kind of toppings do you like, dude? And it was like you were listening to a bunch of fucking schoolgirls, you know, in the 8th grade. They're a bunch of fucking clowns. And then I guess he's, you know, he's their leader because he has a sleeve tattoo because he's really edgy. Oh, as you can see by his press release photo where he folds his arms just so you can see the full gloriousness of his cheesy fucking sleeve tattoo, so you can show everybody how much of a badass he is. Yeah, he's a douche. And you can see the second that shit gets real, yeah. What did he do? The first time he started whining about death threats and, you know, shit like that. Then he tweets that, hey, this is affecting my personal life. But then when he wants to get hard, he says, you're going to get DDoS, dude.
Yeah.
Prepare to get DDoS.
Speaking of which, he threatened to hack and DDoS and DDoS a bunch of, like, people live on stream. Like, people have got it recorded on stream. I think it was Phenom that had it. What do you guys think about that, huh? Like, Tawok, what do you think about that? Because I know you know about that stuff a little bit.
I don't even know how credible of a threat that is. But like I said, man, I saw the whole addresses and phone numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can get my phone number. He's more than welcome to. I mean, I don't think he can come here himself. He's on the West Coast, but you can send the cops over here. It wouldn't be the first time they were over here.
What is that? What he is? Where is he at? West Coast?
Oh, of course he's on the West Coast. He's a fucking tie-dye wearing hippie scumbag. Where else would he be from? He probably goes to San Francisco every weekend and gargles on fucking cock until he passes out.
Hell yeah, man.
Actually, you know what? He's probably celebrating right now because the gay marriage got passed by the Supreme Court. This is probably the happiest day of his life. He can finally come out.
Yeah, him and Tom can finally tie the knot.
Yeah, they can tie the knot. Don't ask, don't tell.
Oh, Tom knows all about that shit.
Well, hey, whoa, be careful though. Watch out for the lawsuits. That could be considered slanderous.
That's true. That's true.
Hey.
Yeah, Tom might sue us. Yeah.
Yeah, be very careful. Can you imagine? Like, he's having people take screenshots of a website.
Don't talk about it now. We're gonna cover that. Like, everybody in chat, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about our good buddy Tom at the end. He's not spared from any of this shit. But yeah, with TieDie, I mean, it seems like every time the guy tries to act like a fucking hard ass, as soon as somebody steps to him, he starts deleting his shit and crying his pussy mouth off and whining and crying and all kinds of shit. And it's just like, dude, you know, just if you can't take the heat, man, then don't stream, don't confront an entire community of people that have been around a lot longer than you have, you know. And from what I hear, he claims he's not about the drama. It's not about the negativity, bro. I'm not about that. I'm above that shit. And then he just talks shit about us all the time. From what I hear, I don't know. I don't go over to
What are his SOCOM credentials? Like, have we ever found out, like, did he play S2, S1, or is he just a straight, like, computer guy? Like, he never played the SOCOMs?
He's probably never fucking played. I think Phenom said that he claimed he played SOCOM 2 or whatever, but he's probably just some streamer or gamer, whatever, that happened to H-Hour, and he was like, damn, I just paid $25 for this pile of fucking garbage. but hey, maybe I can turn it into something positive. Let me suck the owner's dick, and then maybe he'll give me my own tie-dye gun, and then I can open up a stream, and then we'll call ourselves the tie-dye crew, and I'll get big. I'll get 20,000 followers one day with this piece of shit. I don't know. But I don't think he played. I don't think he played. So
I mean, to be fair, Tom apparently, that's his whole shtick. That's his spiel. Like he'll tell people like, hey, don't worry about what's happening now. I'm gonna get you on the back end. I'll take care of you on the back end. He did that with everybody else. That donated their time and their expertise to help out. SOF as far as Mr. Cobalt with the that's the software end of things with Urgent Fury, those guys. A lot of people dedicated their time and their energy and their expertise to him, thinking that not necessarily there'd be a payout at the back end, but at the very least they'd be involved. And once their use was timed out, Tom basically said "fuck off," moved on to the next thing. And I think as dumb as tie-dye apparently is, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that Tom just sugarcoated some shit and told him, hey, we're the next big thing, we're HHOUR, this is going to sell, and maybe he sold him on the fact that he gets some, because apparently he really is, he's stuck on this, like he's going to get some big type of back-end viewership, and he could be a Steam guy, and he could, paste his fucking stupid ass all over the internet and have some Steam followers, and he thinks HHOUR is going to be the train that takes him there, but he's going to find out that's not the case.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Tom has a plan for that fucker already. Like he's already got a timeline when he's going to cut him off, when he's going to throw him under the bus, but that's why it makes it impossible to feel bad for the guy because he just,
Yeah, I'm actually reading the chat and I see Crab Dude. Yeah, I see Crab Dude put something up. Yeah, Crab Dude. Redline originally, he kind of put a pretty detailed post up about the history of how SOF got started and where Tom came in the picture. And what happened was Redline and Mr. Blue started a studio. I forget the exact name of the studio, what it was, but the goal initially was to recreate a SOCOM type of game. At some point along the way, Tom was brought in strictly as a military consultant. Not a developer, not an owner, not anything like that. Just a guy that was in the military that had some extensive knowledge of, Black Ops type missions and, to lend his expertise as far as developing, the storylines and, just the realism and that type of thing. Somewhere along the way, Tom kind of shoehorned his way into the whole process, caused a rift between Redline and Blue, and that broke down their partnership. And then it was Blue and Tom were left over, and Tom kind of, whatever he did there, I'm not familiar with those details, but he took over the SOF situation. But originally, Tom has absolutely no background, has no passion for video gaming in general. He was brought in strictly as a consultant, as somebody who has knowledge of weapon systems and military tactics.
Right.
And he took over and pushed himself into positions that he has no experience whatsoever in.
Well, so we have a few people in chat asking who the fuck TieDie is, why we have a beef with them. Who feels like they can explain it the best?
TieDie is this fat, wriggly bearded fuckhead that just came out of nowhere, and I think it was Precision that posted something over on Reddit where TieDie was a moderator or something, and he had a meltdown about it and just started going off, and then they ended up like throwing everything in the guy's face, like, what are you talking about? You're obviously wrong or whatever. And then the guy just deleted all this shit. And ever since then, he's just been like on a crusade against TRS and against, just pretty much anybody who doesn't like HHOUR. And he's pretty much Tom's lackey, and just he's the only hope they have left of garnering any kind of attention to the game. And you know, he's just a fucking dork. He's just somebody else to make fun of, really.
I mean, he came with a ready-made clan of sycophants and idiots that can provide instant playership for a flailing game that has trouble getting more than a dozen people playing it. So if you could, you know, sweet talk a clan leader into bringing his clan of douchebags onto your game and basically doubling your player count by adding 8 people from their clan, you know, I guess Tom jumped at that. And TieDie, he is a big fish in the smallest fucking pond on the planet right now, and he's kind of enjoying it, I guess.
But going back to Tom,
good old Uncle Boom did just tell me how fucking TieDie stopped streaming.
He's done?
Yeah, he shut her down for the night.
Oh,
come join us.
Are you sure?
Come join us.
Are you sure?
I checked the page. I checked the page.
But did maybe the server just crashed from overload from all the people that were clamoring to get a free copy of HHOUR?
I was DOSing him, man, my friend.
Yeah. Maybe you DDoSed your friend.
Prepare to be DDoSed, my friend. You have been removed from the channel.
Do we have any of that? Like, can you plop a picture of him up there? Do we have that or no?
I popped a picture up of him. I popped up his fucking Twitter quote where he's like, "It's affecting my personal life."
Yeah. I love the picture. I love the crossed arm picture though, like the publicity photo where you could see he's got his right hand, you know, scooped in like a little lobster claw that he's barely pushing into his bicep, and then his left hand is resting on his liver, like barely halfway past his stomach, simply so you could see his fucking cheesy ass slot machine sleeve tattoo. What a fucking
it's
faggot!
A Final Fantasy
he's the
type
guy. Yeah, like he's the type of guy that.
Yeah, look at this shit. He's like, I want to reiterate to my supporters that the majority of the negative content flying out right now is being taken out of context, edited, and used without my permission. Man, stop lying to your fat ass, dude. You know, I mean, everybody's got the proof, man. Why are you trying to lie to everybody?
I'll explain why we're bashing TieDie for austerity's sake. Even though we just told you, this kid came in and he started talking shit about TRS, all of our home, like the home that we all go to discuss SOCOM, the only place that you can go to discuss SOCOM, where you won't get fucking censored when you give your real opinion about it. He said that he hates our entire website because one member came through and made a post about him being like, this TieDie guy was talking shit. He says that TRS does nothing but talk shit about him. We made an entire sub forum about him, and we talked so much shit that it affects his personal life.
Well, in your personal life,
he's not even a member of our website, and he talks all this shit, and he has his buddies come on his stream and read our posts verbatim and be like, oh, Tawok said this, heard it there, it's so funny. He's so stupid.
Yeah. Look at his fucking douchebag, like, affliction tattoo. Look at
that. He only does tie-dye on Under Armour shirts.
God. Whatever.
That's so fucking lame, dude. That's so hipster. Like, you're a tie-dye, like, hippie. Like, yeah, man, tie-dye, bro. But, like, I'll only do it from, like, mass-marketed fucking corporate T-shirts and shit.
Down with capitalism, dude. Here, buy my T-shirt I made.
Yeah. What a fucking douchebag. He really is a fucking homo.
We are a bunch of degreeless heathens.
Yeah, we don't all have degrees and we're all morons because of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good. But he went to college to promote video games, wasn't that what he said he went to college for?
Well, like I said, I'd rather have no degree and be a moron than make tie-dye shirts for a living. So I'll take that.
Well, I mean, I don't shit on anybody for doing. I don't shit on anybody for doing whatever they have to do to make a living. And frankly, if you could make a good living doing tie-dye shirts, I'd do it. But anybody who talk shit about people not having degrees as somehow being reflective of their worth in life or their contribution to society is a fucking retard because they've never actually experienced the real world. Like, he can go fucking take his gender studies fucking bachelor's that he has from community college and stick it up his ass.
Liberal arts.
Yeah. I mean, he's a liberal arts major who's like, oh, yeah, dude, I have a degree. I'm going to go be a barista.
He'll be able to make a sick H-Hour logo in the coffee foam.
Yeah. He's like, I love being a barista, dude. The only thing I don't like is the beard net I have to wear.
Beard nets are a necessary evil.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, is there anything...
Oh, man.
Oh, so, we got somebody in the chat. We got somebody in the chat. Who's this, Raw Dog or No Dog? Wow, you guys have nothing better to do with your lives than talk shit about a guy.
I guarantee that's TieDie. He just stopped streaming. What a fucking douchebag.
And to have to
go
stream
die
it under...
fag.
This is a joke. Well, dude, and this is what I love about this, right? Like these kind of fuck nuts that come in here and throw this shit around like, wow, you guys have nothing better to do with your lives. Well, you're in here. You're in here using your time and your energy to complain about us, how we use our time and our energy. So you're probably worse than us because at least we're doing something productive. Like, we're making ourselves laugh. We're making other people laugh. Like, you're literally just wasting your Friday night complaining about us enjoying ourselves. So, no.
Hey, TieDie.
I don't know where the...
Hey, TieDie. I mean, Raw Dog. We're having the same conversation that we would be having with ourselves regardless. We just happen to put it on live for other people to listen to, and you're listening to it. So what the fuck does that say about you?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And actually, like, to be quite frank, honestly, I actually don't have anything better to do right now. So I'm fine with that. You can tell me that I don't have anything better to do because I don't. But because the only other option would be like watching a rerun of Law and Order and going to sleep. But right now I'm having more fun than that, and I'm drinking, so I don't really care.
Fuck yeah, man! I mean, like, instead of, and that's where this haters ball came from, right? Like, instead of just chatting about this shit and typing it out, let's just put it out there on an easier medium that's for everybody to see, and we can just laugh at people, laugh at H-Hour and how fucking shitty and stupid it is, laugh at Tom, laugh at TieDie. I mean, it's, we're actually doing a service to a lot of people, man. We're making people laugh and shit. So
yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it because we would be talking shit about this fucking idiot on TRS anyway. Like, I'd be spending my time typing out a paragraph about how fucking retarded he is while I'm watching TV. So instead, we're just bullshitting about it, in live time. So whatever, man. Like, that's such a tired ass, cliche though. Like,
yeah,
you guys don't have anything better to do on a Friday night. You should be out getting pussy, dude. But it really doesn't matter. I already got pussy today. I fucked her. She's gone. She made me dinner. She did my laundry. She cleaned the house, and now I'm relaxing. What else am I gonna do?
A good deal, bro.
What should I go out and spend $100? Should I go out and spend $150 at the bar, like talking to other bitches that I want to fuck? Like, who cares? I already got my nut off for the day. I have nothing else to do.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's. I think that pretty much covers TieDie. Yeah.
Other than he said how he Googled H-Hour, and every article he found was TRS hate on H-Hour.
It's almost like this guy doesn't realize that the internet exists. Like
TieDie dude is officially in chat.
Just lie about shit, like, just openly like that. Like, people can check shit, dude. You can search Google. And people take screenshots. We got videos. It's like, what the fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
TieDie's in my chat right
he's
now.
He's really such a bitch, though. Like, you're talking about a guy who talks a bunch of shit and then runs away and tells on you. He's like, oh, I'm getting death threats. Oh, Why would you make shit like that up? Like, who cares? You're on the internet, dude. It's a fucking video game. People talk shit back and forth. And he takes it to the level of trying to get sympathy by saying he's getting death threats. How pathetic is that? And then they're talking about, like, sending pizzas to people's houses. What are you, fucking 15? And we're the fucking immature ones? We're the ones with nothing better to do? These faggots are like 12 grown-ass men sitting in a chat room, putting up other people's personal information, talking about sending them pizzas and getting them swatted. And these are people in their 20s and 30s, and they're talking about sending people pizzas. And then they have the gall to turn around and say, we have nothing better to do? Nobody gives a fuck about you. And we're not threatening to DDoS you, my friend, because nobody gives a shit. Say whatever you want. I didn't block you from my Twitter, you fat fucking bearded faggot.
Yeah, that was awesome. That tweet you sent out to him.
Yeah.
That was fucking brilliant.
I don't know. Is that no? That's got to be a troll, Taylor. That ain't really tie-dye.
Yeah, I looked at the profile. That's not him.
All I gotta say,
because
I'm gonna
ask him how much he spent on that stupid fucking tattoo, and why is he so concerned with showing it off?
I'm gonna say my piece on tie-dye, and I'm done with it as far as for now. But like I said, for me, talk as much shit as you want, but I'm putting the challenge to you, tie-dye. Come on to Skype with us and talk shit face to face. Come and say everything you say over your own stream, and that you say completely away from TRS. Come, you have an open invitation. Me, Mack, and Tawok. We will send you an invite for the next cast. We will give you the floor to say whatever you want. We won't interrupt you, and then we'll have our say and counter what you say. And we'll have a straight-up debate, and we will shut the shit out of you on everything that you say and every point you make. And the challenge is there, so you can either accept it or not. And, if you don't accept it, you're
Silo. Yes, Silo 9952. That is the idea. We're taking turns insulting people. That's you hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what we're doing here. Good job. You are really perceptive.
Guys, I gotta piss and I need another beer.
Right on. But
I'll be right back.
The invitation is open, man, for tie-dye to come here.
Well, that's the funniest thing too. Like, you hear these people all the time. They talk about how much shit we talk and how negative we are, but time after time, you see people that we initially may have had a beef with to begin with. Celerity is a good example, or Eagle recently. Those two are good examples recently. As soon as they come on TRS, and as soon as they engage our community over there, they're treated with complete courtesy. Nobody's rude or out of control or nasty or mean to people. We don't say rude shit to people. As long as you're respectful and you want to have an open discussion about something, you're completely free to do that on TRS, which you're not free to do on SOF. Unless you toe that company line and say exactly what they want you to say, you're going to get deleted. You're going to get your post pruned.
Yeah. So the challenge is there for tie-dye to find his balls, return them to his sack, and accept the invitation and come on here and talk all that shit live with us. But
we'll even Swill. Should we let him bring a crony along with him in case he feels a little outnumbered?
Brings as many people as he wants, have them all on, and we'll just do it up. But they're not going to accept it anyway. So, but
I'll be tie-dye.
Just so
I'll be tie-dye, dude. Did you heard him on the video, right? Hey,
yeah.
Dude, fuck that. I went to school for that, dude. Yeah, dude, fuck that. I just fucking hate them, man.
Whatever.
They're fucking horrible.
The invitation. I just want it to be clear, so everybody here hears it, that he has an open invitation to come to our cast and talk shit to us face to face. So we readily or you can have us over there. You can. I will gladly go onto your stream with you by myself if I need to, and we can do it up over there too. So you tell me what you want to do. You can come here, or I can go there, or we can go there, or whatever. Either way, I'm sure Mack would do it too. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for, like, if you want to discuss the facts and actually discuss point by point the issues you have about anything, we can do that. Unfortunately, all of his shit is just speculation, conjecture, and outright lies. Nobody sent him death threats. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Nobody sent him a fucking death threat. He was just doing that to dramatize the situation and play the victim. Nobody cares. And frankly, nobody would know who the fuck TieDieDude was if he didn't put himself on the scene. The only reason he's even being discussed is because he put himself on the scene.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, for that. Let's talk about Tom, right? Because today we found out that Tom, in another dose of his fucking infinite wisdom, has been telling TieDie to file screenshots, videos, whatever he can get of anybody, namely us, obviously, slandering him or the studio or the game, and filing it away. Keep it on file. Keep track of it so that he can sue us for slander.
Well, and just to correct Tom and anyone else who doesn't understand the difference between the two, slander is defamation in verbal form. What he would actually be suing us for is libel. Libel is written form defamation. So they're not even using the proper legalese when they're talking that dumb shit. That's just, you know me, Swill. I'm a stickler for minutia like that. So yeah, at least get it right, Tom. If you're gonna make threats and you're gonna send cronies out, it wouldn't be suing us for slander. It would be suing us for libel.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just more bullshit, empty threats from him. Like, Tom's not going to do shit. First off, he doesn't have any money to do shit because he had to put all of his assets into getting a fucking loan to drag this corpse of it, over the fucking finish line. So he doesn't have jack shit. And he obviously, I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to pull 3 different people from 3 different states into another state to go to court over opinions they had about a video game or about other people that had nothing to do with him. And well, I mean, it's just more empty threats. That's how he uses the NDAs for HHOUR. He's used the NDAs as empty threats to hold over people's heads, and he's just full of shit. Like he's zero. Like it's literally zero threat behind that. It's just more of his egomaniac, fucking control freak mannerisms coming through, and he's not going to do shit, and he can't do shit. And I would love for him to try to do that. Like that would just be. Just to even insinuate that is just ridiculous. So, whatever.
Slander and libel, historically, 2 of the most difficult cases to prove in any legal environment.
Well, he would have to prove beyond any doubt whatsoever, with numbers and facts, that us and our haters' balls and our posts on our little forum over at TRS that destroyed the game. It destroyed the potential sales. It kept people from buying it because they saw what we were saying and they saw our podcast and they saw our post and they didn't want to buy it because of that. He would have to actually prove that, which is obviously fucking impossible. So, it's just more of his tomfoolery and his bullshit.
Even if he proved that anything we said kept people from purchasing the game, that in and of itself isn't paramount to damages anyway. Like it's completely empty and false bravado and total bullshit. I would love for Tom to take me to court. I have a lawyer on retainer, so I love using that Jew motherfucker whenever I have a chance because I pay that piece of shit $2,000 a month. So I would love for him to fucking put some kind of paperwork on me and drag me into court. And plus, like I told you, I've actually never played golf in North Carolina. I hear it's very nice. Or is it South Carolina?
Dude, they're all over the place. They're in fucking Ohio, South Carolina, North Carolina,
the business is registered in Ohio, but they built their studios in North Carolina.
I wonder where that would take place. I suppose it would be wherever the business.
Yeah. It would be where It would be where the business is, wherever there are articles of organization.
Wherever they're an LLC, correct?
Yeah, so wherever their articles of organization are registered to, that's where the lawsuit would have to be. I mean,
Ooh, well, never mind. I don't really want to go to Ohio. Ohio has Cleveland in it, and it's Cleveland's smelly. I don't like that.
Fuck face. Fuck. I'm
So
from
I don't want to go.
I'm from Cincinnati though.
Oh God, Cincinnati's just like bourgeois Kentucky, dude. That's fucking gross, man.
Dude, you're from Jersey. You're from the fucking pit stain of the entire country.
Oh, whoa. I'm from New York.
Oh.
I live in Jersey, all right? There's a big difference.
Dude, once you live in Jersey, you become you become from fucking Jersey. So you're a fucking
It does
stink ass.
Yeah, it does. It is like having herpes.
Nah.
At least I don't live in Wisconsin.
Hey, fuck. I don't know what you're talking about.
What did somebody posted some long thing here? What is it?
Some bullshit
Oh,
they
I
found
missed
on
it.
some website saying that online defamation's bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's like what do you, rigor mortis? What he has posted here: the publication or broadcast of any libelous or slanderous statement about an individual or business that can be proven to be false and published with the intention of harming. Well, again, you have to prove all of those things. You have to prove that it's libelous and that it's slanderous. You have to prove that it's false, and you have to prove that there's intention to harm. So,
Right. Well, the other thing he's missing is that truth is the only defense against libel or slander.
Yeah.
So they would have to prove any statements made were false. So prior to even proving any damages, they'd have to prove that they were false. And how are you going to prove a negative? You can't prove a negative. It's laughable.
it's
It's literally laughable that anyone in their right mind would think that some shitbird from a fucking flailing studio in South Carolina that has 0 players online, that is the laughing stock of the video game community, is going to take random fucking members of a website who are spread all over the country and the world and somehow take them to court and actually have that manifest itself and materialize in any type of legal precedent or action is fucking laughable.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there would have to be, even if we were slandering him, again, he's either going to have to go with slander, and that slander prevented the sale, destroyed the game, and he would have to first off prove that there were profits coming in and revenues lost. And when you only have 10 players playing your fucking game on a daily basis, you're going to have a hard time proving that. And secondly, the other route, he's just going to have to prove that it's slander, that he suffered emotional distress and it ruined his reputation or whatever. And he's going to have to prove that. So he's going to have to show that our podcast and our statements on HHOUR or on TRS, he's going to have to show who was affected by that and why that changed their opinion of Tom. Or he's going to have to show proof of slander. He's going to have to show proof of distress.
What's happening here is, and it's pretty easy to see, it's not the libel or the slander or anything like that. What's going on is Tom, through use of trolls and people he sends over to try and start shit, is hoping that somebody will make some type of threat of violence or some type of other threat or any kind of implication or insinuation of any type of violent or criminal act, which he can then use to file criminal charges. Because once something like that happens, let's say, for example, somebody threatened, like, hey, I'm going to kill Tom. Obviously, I'm not saying that. That is completely like a hypothetical scenario. Right. So if something like that happened, then in theory, he could literally call the FBI and say somebody threatened to kill me. And then based on that allegation, based on a screenshot, he could then potentially have TRS shut down or have some type of sanctions done against it. And that's all the end game is here. Yeah. He can't actually take anything to court. He's hoping that somebody will be stupid enough to make some type of threat or say something that could be construed as a criminal threat or a terroristic threat, and then use that as a way to have TRS jammed up. Because once you do that, then he doesn't have to foot the bill for that. The Department of Justice has to foot the bill for that. That's all that's going on there. That's why I referred to Luke as an internet terrorist. I mean, is anything more laughable? I mean, please. The guy is a fucking, he's a total just sham. He's a bitch. That's the type of shit he wants to do. That's all that's going on here.
Swill's fighting over text.
Yeah, I'm just typing something.
Is that Swill?
Yeah, that's Swill machine gunning out.
Dude, I know I got so good at typing is having to fucking type Tombs bitch ass. That's why I got so good at it. Replying to his fucking
That sounded like 80 words a minute, dude. You want to be my secretary?
Dude, I'm fast as fuck.
I don't think he's got the legs to be your secretary.
Yeah, but look,
Dude,
let's put this. Let's just put this on right now. Like, we think Tom is a fucking goofball. That's it. Like, but we're certainly not threatening him with anything. We're not, and we think his game is a piece of shit. We think his studio sucks. We think his game sucks. So in a way, that's our review of his company and his game. And it's like to even remotely try to threaten that is like saying you could take anybody who's ever reviewed a video game publicly or reviewed a book on Amazon or whatever. You could just as easily try to sue them by saying, oh, well, your negative review slandered our book or whatever, and so we're going to sue you because it prevented future sales because someone else could read your review and go, oh, this sucks, I'm not going to buy it. So, nobody here is like, we don't care.
It's amazing how Siskel and Ebert were able to keep a show for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like
we don't care about Tom. Like, we don't care about Tom. We don't care about HR. We don't care about his studio. We see his fucking material to laugh at. We think Tom is a clown to laugh at. We think the game is a hilarious failure to laugh at, to do shit like this. So, it's Tom can do whatever he wants, be whoever he wants to be, and I hope he continues to do it because he's just going to give us more material to fucking laugh at him about and make fun of him. So if you're going to do that, again, it's like comedians who go and make fun of people, other celebrities or anybody else in their acts. What do those celebrities go and sue them for slander? Like, that doesn't happen. It's crazy. No. So you might be able to sue them, but you're not going to win anything. So because all that has to be proven, and we'll just say right on record, there is no intent to harm. There is no intent to harm. There's no intent to do anything. We're just here to laugh and make fun of him because we think he's a clown. And Luke. I mean, speaking of proof, you want proof, Luke. And this is another reason why this guy will never sue anybody. Luke, and I'm sure there's others, have tons of evidence against this guy of shit that he said, stuff that he's done. I mean, Tom has openly stated that he doesn't give a shit about SOCOM or video games. He's in this to make money. He doesn't give a shit about the SOCOM community. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to make money. Like, that's on record of him saying that. It's on record of him, trying to tell people at TRS to censor posts way back in the day. Oh, take this down or do this or, we're going to have problems or whatever. It's just like there's so much against him. He would never be able to take anyone to court because someone could just produce way more than he has. So, again, obviously this is all just a waste to talk about. It's just funny because it's just another comical event that's happened in this whole HHOUR bullshit. So,
really, I mean, if they took 1/10 of the energy they spend worrying about what some guys on TRS say and focused it on promoting and working on their own fucking game, they might actually have been successful. I mean, you think about the time and energy. I mean, we're regular members of TRS, and when the board is busy, think about how much time it takes to actually go through and read all the posts.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a while. And these fucking retards should be working on a game, and they're over here reading through posts on TRS. And they're bitching about the posts that they read, and then wondering why their game sucks.
Tom, we got hit. We got someone. We got one. We need a 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's not much to say. I mean, pretty much, I was thinking about it, over the past couple weeks, and looking at the numbers. I mean, like I said, you're talking about, 20 players max a day? How long until they actually close shop? I mean, they say they're planning on releasing another map, but is that one map going to be enough to rejuvenate the game?
This fucking game is done. Man, it's been done. It's been done for a year. I mean, ever since David Sears left, it's been done. It's just been nothing but a downhill spiral. And, it's, whatever. If people want to delude themselves into believing that there's hope or whatever, then go for it. Just don't be upset when people like us make fun of you for it. So
I'm just curious though. Like I'm trying to do a timeline. I have to think. I mean, what is the next map? What, another month, 2 months before it's out?
I thought June was
They're
supposed
going
to
to
be
be closing their
the
doors
content
before
month.
the holidays.
Wasn't June
What's
supposed to be
that?
the fucking the month of content?
Yeah.
And
Well, the crazy thing is too, if they released this game at even $15, I'll bet you they would have had probably almost triple the sales, and maybe would have had a chance to add some more content and keep some players. But that $25 price point really killed them. I think that was a really bad decision,
yeah, of course it was.
and I think it was really short-sighted.
We know why he did that. He did that because he knew this. He knows this cow is fucking dying. There's tumors all over it, and he's got to charge $25 for it because he's got to squeeze as much money out of it as he can before he runs for the Mexican border. He's got, if you charge $10 and Steam is taking 30% of everything you make, you're not going to make jack shit. And you're not going to be able to pay back the loans you took out against your house and all your assets to fund it. So you got to charge $25 because you got to make as much as you can off the top right away. So that way, when it dies, when it finally fucking kills off, you at least have some money to pay back all the loans you took out. And all the people you got to pay and all the shit. So, there's no way $25 was chosen as a logical starting pricing point. There's obviously a reason behind it because, they know that it's the only chance they're going to have to get it. Because the only way this game is going to survive, is if legitimate investors come in and put money into it, which kind of segues into our next thing with Tom, because investors, how many times has this fucker gotten investors over the years? Like, how many fucking times has this guy got investors? Every week he's got a new investor. Madonna, fucking Yao Ming, fucking, Nelson Mandela.
Sure
everybody wants to back his game, and every single week it's a new story. Oh, I went to.
They're very interested.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
interested.
yeah.
See, I think you made a mistake though in what you were just saying. You kept saying they. I don't think there's any they. I honestly think that Tom is looking at it as he's trying to snag as much cash as he can, and he's going to pull like a Enron or a Crazy Eddie and just beat his whole fucking staff, leave him holding the bag, and then bounce somewhere.
Yeah. He's not. Animal made a good point. Animal said that it's reinforced by the fact that they didn't participate in the summer sale. Like, he does not want to charge a low price because he needs to scalp as much off of this as he can. Because the writing
and the reason for that is, I think the reason for that is he knows that this is not going to be a situation that is going to be making money 6 months from now. So he has to make the money that he can make now.
Yeah, you got to make it right away. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't do something that might potentially be, looking long term. That's better for the game and better for profitability 6 months to a year from now, because he knows in his own fucking heart that the game isn't even going to be the game SOF isn't even going to be open 6 months from now. So he needs to get whatever cash he can get now, so he can be out the door. And I said on a post on TRS, I really believe. And I think the point you made about him taking whatever money they had and actually buying the game himself to boost the numbers, I think he might do that.
Yeah.
Because if that would potentially get him a bigger line of credit, he would pay his employees with credit and then take the cash himself and be able to bounce. Because I do not put it past him. And like I said before, the guy has a very lengthy military history and a lot of black bag type shit. I'm telling you, he could take 20, 30 grand and go live very comfortably in Thailand for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. And let's bury this right now again, going back to like the legal stuff, like touching on that. I mean, let's bury this right now again as part of, you know, any chance of succeeding in court. I mean, again, people, you know, they would. I mean, we don't have any reach. We don't have any reach to influence anywhere near what he would need to prove. You know, that destroyed his game. Like this, we don't have any kind of reach. We're just three guys who come here. Like tonight, we had over 100 viewers at one point, which is cool. I mean, that was like almost triple what we had the first one. But, you know, it's not like we're going around the internet all over the place talking shit about him or the studio or the game. We're literally staying contained in our own little space and just talking about amongst ourselves and to people who already know us. We're not influencing anybody new. It's like everybody who's listening to us right now, they already know who we are and, you know, what we're about. And so it's just, you know, it's whatever.
We're not plastering this stuff on YouTube. We're not advertising it anywhere other than TRS for the people we're already acquainted with.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not a situation like that. It's just a desperate, you know, pathetic type of end game move by somebody who knows it's, you know, the ride's about to come to an end. So they're gonna, you know, they're gonna say whatever they say. Yeah.
It's just more scare tactics. It's just more, you know, trying to bully people around, and you know that shit just isn't gonna fly.
Which is funny. You would think he would realize, of all people, that's not gonna work on us. I mean, I mean, Tom, please, Tom, sue me. You're not getting anything, buddy. I don't use banks. I got all my cash in a shoebox under my bed. You're not getting a fucking thing, buddy.
Supposedly, he went to E3. Well, he went to E3. But supposedly, he met another investor. Yeah, he met somebody else.
Really?
Keenly interested in the game. Oh, yeah, they saw the fact that there's 9 players playing. And actually, they probably didn't see the numbers.
More and Christian Slater.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Who's the other one? Oh Christ! Yeah, he went. He got Sean Kilmer and Sean Kilmer. Jesus Christ, Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Busey.
Gary Busey's invested in the game. Oh Jesus Christ! Maury Povich is going to be investing in H-Hour.
Montel Williams was like, "Yo, I got that shit, Tom. I got you, son."
Who's the guy? Oh Christ! The infomercials. Marie Osmond. Maybe he's getting Bruce Jenner.
Billy Bow Tie Bow?
Yeah. Billy Blanks. No. You know what it is. Seriously?
I got
Steven Seagal.
I got
Steven Seagal. Investing in H.
Oh, shit. But, I mean, there's got to be, like, hardly anybody left that believes this shit anymore. I think people have been pointing out over at the SOF forums that, like, people are really starting to kind of, like the light bulb is starting to switch on. They're like, so why are there only like 9 people playing this game?
Yeah.
They're like, what's going on? When are, you know, like why are there only like 9 people playing? And how come like we still can't talk to each other in the game? And like, why can't, you know, like
that's a killer too, dude.
They're not showing up. Like, what the hell's going on?
That's a real killer. A lot of other content could have been forgiven if you had team chat, but the fact that the game sucks and you can't at least even bullshit with your buddies that you're playing with, that'll kill the game quicker than anything. Because at the end of the day, I mean, what made SOCOM great and what made everybody, you know, play it so much and love playing it was the fact that you got to play with your boys, you know, and you could bullshit. So you could look past a few flaws in the game as long as you could actually get online, log on, play the game, and bullshit with your buddies. The fact that you can't do that'll kill it quicker than anything.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of shit from this rigor mortis douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. He's just a troll. It's probably Plexus or
I think it is Plexus because he misuses your.
Yeah. Maybe it's Suede.
It takes a special retard to use your rake.
Suede, is that you? Suede, is that you, man? What's up, man?
Is it Suede, really?
Oh, that'd make me so happy.
You? Suede, come back. Come back home to TRS.
You know how you
Don't
know
leave
if
us,
it's
bro.
this. if he uses the term now and days instead of nowadays.
Hey, remember Harriet Tubman? The Underground?
Yeah. Hey, did you see when Tawok he necroed that one thread like right before the EA got released and the first video was shown?
Yeah.
And Suede was ripping on it. He was talking about how retarded the guy looked and how bad it looked and how it just looked like it was total shit. And then 90% of the shit that he was complaining about to this day still hasn't been fixed, yet he's full nut hugger. He's not even over there anymore.
Nah, man, he's still over there. He's always the first poster on like the news posts and shit.
I don't know, dude. I think he might have. Given up because he's not even playing. There's zero players, right?
Shitty petitions.
Nah, you know who gave up? You know who gave up and hasn't said anything because they just either really feel like shit or they don't want to say anything. I think Witt is gone. I think he's done.
Who was tracking him? I think Slick was tracking him, right? And he said he hadn't logged on in like 12 days or something.
Yeah, Slick was on that shit. He's on fucking sleuth.
I think Witt is done. I think he's finished.
I don't blame him. I mean, shit. I don't blame him.
I think he
carried water for a while. I mean, I blame him for slithering off. You know, if he really did leave, he should have at least came over and kind of, you know, took his medicine, got in front of the firing squad. But, you know.
Like, I think he's obviously, I feel no sympathy for him because he was just a cowardly shill who just didn't want to bite Tom's hand, and so just put up with this bullshit. And he knew about everything. He knew about all the bad moderation that was going on underneath him. He knew about all that stuff. But he just, you know, I don't feel bad for him because, you know, he just, again, I don't feel bad for anybody that willingly and knowingly, you know, ignored things and took it because they wanted to get a game or they wanted to get something for themselves, and it didn't work out. And I think
that Witt's head was in the right place with getting us back on the SOF forums. I think he really wanted to remarry the SOCOM fan bases, but then Tom was like, nah, fuck that. I still want to say fuck this guy, and fuck this guy, but the rest of TRS is cool. They can come back and buy my game before I run to Tijuana.
Yeah, I
think his intentions were legitimate, but like you said, Swill, I mean, fuck him, because at the end of the day, you know, he knew what was going on. I think his intentions were good, but he just didn't have the sack to actually follow through, and he didn't have the dignity and the class like Animal had once he realized that it wasn't going to go down the way it should, to step down and be like, you know what, I won't tolerate this. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, whether or not his heart was in the right place is really irrelevant, because he didn't have the fucking integrity to stand behind his, you know, his views on the subject.
Right. Well, I think if there's one thing I think he would be able to do, I think he would be smart enough to go, wow, this was a total waste of time, and just bounce out. Like,
yeah, that's what I think he did. I think he bounced, and I think he finally did realize that, but he did it like out the back door. He didn't go out the front door. You know?
Yeah.
But, sleuthed out the back.
I mean, he would have ate a fucking shit sandwich the size of a fucking, you know, a catering hall.
On the off chance that Witt is watching the Haters Ball, there's an open invitation for you to come home to TRS, man, and just reintegrate. Just get back into the flow, man.
But it's just, again, you know what, we hate on people who deserve it, who ask for it, and show no repentance for it. Like, with Celerity, you know, Celerity took his verbal beating from us the last time, and really was awesome to see. Yeah, he was awesome to see how he reacted to it, and
I'm still not sold on that cocksucker.
Well,
he fucking shifted gears way too quick, dude. You don't go from being that big a dick and then all of a sudden just say, "Oops, okay, now I'm gonna be cool." Fuck that.
Well, I think he's got his own agenda. Obviously, he's got this thing he's working on, and that's why he came back. But even he said,
"No, I'm not talking about Celerity there. I'm talking about that arm sock, dude."
Oh yeah, no.
unabashed dick. Like he and like even Celerity wasn't maliciously and intentionally trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
He was just, whatever. Armsock was blatantly and just ridiculously pandering and intentionally talking shit about all the members, about the site, about the staff. And then one day he said, "Okay, I'm done." No, fuck that.
Yeah. Well, but the point is, like, and we've done this with a bunch of people. And this is not just us. This is other people at TRS. Anybody who comes and mans up and changes their stance or something, we always, we don't just like hate on people for no reason. It's, Animal again. I think we talked about this the first time, but Animal was over there. He kind of waved the flag for SOFs for a while, and he changed his stance, and he came back over and was just manned up, and he's been cool ever since.
Even when Animal was a mod over there, he was never carrying water. He was never a shill. Like he was cool with shit. Like he wasn't on a level of anybody else. He really truly was calling balls and strikes. He wasn't really taking a side in the game.
Right.
So I look at Animal a little different than like, let's say like if Paul D. Girl came over and tried to beg forgiveness, like that's a completely different realm than Animal.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And I hear what you're saying, because that's how we are. We're a forgiving bunch. If people come over and they own up to their misdeeds, we're the nicest bunch of guys in the world. We're sweethearts.
Sweethearts isn't the way
we're people, Nah, we are though. We're a good bunch of guys. We really are.
I agree, man. We really are. I mean, like, if you come by and you're willing to be real and logical and avoid fucking logical fallacies, you'll fit in around fucking TRS.
That's true, man.
I mean, dude, I fucking went. I gave Redline how many fucking chances? You know what I mean? Like, I supported the shit out of Redline. I had egg on my face for it. I did the same thing with Wit. I supported Wit, and I had egg all over my face for that.
Well, we had, again, anybody who's in chat, a lot of people might not know this, but back when, because I've been with TRS since I think 2011. I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I remember at some point, this little grimy fuck named Mack as God came along and just started ragging on me about everything. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what the fuck is your deal? And we had some really long, crazy back and forth. It was so fun. It was so hilarious. Like
27-page battle.
It was so funny. And then just naturally over time, we just kind of met, like a point where we realized it was just we agreed on 99% of everything. Just this one thing with SOCOM 3, and it was kind of funny. And we've been super cool.
Like Ali and Fraser, dude. It was like Ali and Fraser. We just kept beating the shit out of each other.
You guys had like a 26-page thread about that fucking divide between that goddamn game.
Dude, no. Like, let me be clear. With that thread, I think that to this day, I think that's still the most popular, like the most threaded thread.
Replied to thread or something, right?
But it's like when that happened, so like when that started with Tomb, I actually sat, because I was actually in the middle of like vacation. Like I was home, it was like a staycation, but I took a whole week off of work for my business. And I said, you know what? Let's do this shit. Like I'm gonna go 24 hours with this fucker if I have to. And that's why we just went back and forth for so long. Because Tomb obviously has no life, and he's like, I don't know how the fuck that guy survives. I think he's on like military disabled, payments or something. But he's fucking It's just I said, you know what? I'm gonna go toe to toe with this guy, and I'm just gonna fucking go as long as I have to. So like I went all night long, slept a couple hours, woke up, and spent the whole day just going back and forth. And it was, I mean, it was cool because how many times has that topic, right? SOCOM 3 versus SOCOM 2. How many times have like the facts and statistics been brought out on each side? Like how often has that really happened? I don't think that's probably happened before to that depth. So, it was interesting.
Well, the funny thing about that is it doesn't matter how many times you beat it to death. All it takes is you could have that 27-page battle, and then 2 weeks go by, and then if somebody brings it up again, it'll be another 27-page battle. the thing that had me like really like over the top is I remember that there was one thread it started in that had nothing to do with SOCOM 2 versus SOCOM 3. And we kind of took over that thread
Yeah,
and
that's what it
completely
was.
hijacked it.
It started,
And
on
then
like
we're
page-
going back for like, we're going back and forth for like 20 pages. And then I finally go to sleep and I wake up the next day and you had started a new thread about, and I was like, what the fuck, man? We just did this for 30 pages. I was like, does he really need to start a thread about this shit again?
Oh yeah, I do. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
I'm only
Because-
4 years.
And
years
another
deep.
Because you're right. It was somebody's thread, and it was like the whole argument started on like page 9, and we finished on like page 38.
Yeah.
And we just totally ran that shit over. So I thought, no, let's create a thread. I'm going to create a separate thread for my argument, so it's visible, and we can just take it there, and everybody can see it. So that's kind of.
I was totally a bitch because I woke up and I had to go to work. I was like, shit, man.
Yeah.
He made another thread. And I was like, no, this is bullshit, man. I was like, Luke, this ain't right, man. He already derailed the other thread. He's just doing this to fucking troll, man. This ain't right.
That was good times. Though.
What really had me going up, what really turned me as far as like not fucking wanting to see you die in a fire was when when the Sears fiasco went down. When we had an influx of new members and everything, and you made the thread that said, "So all new members, SOCOM 3 versus SOCOM 2." You were like,
We still
"What do you
that
think?"
shit, man. We still do that shit when people come by.
Yeah.
And then you put the robot Futurama troll face on there. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker."
But I just went, on TRS again. Like we get a lot of hate from people, which we don't give a shit about, obviously. But we do it for fun. Like it's all fun for us. Like to just come and laugh about this shit. And none of us take HHOUR seriously or SOCOM. I mean, we love the game, but we don't take it super seriously. We're able to laugh about it and enjoy not having a SOCOM game. And I think there's too many people that get hooked up on all this shit. The drama or there not being a SOCOM game. They're like, it's like someone stabs them in the heart. It's like, dude, you just laugh about it. Find a way to make it fun and funny and have some fun while you can. And a SOCOM game is going to come out at some point. You just have to at least, use the time and laugh at it while you got it. Shit.
Dude, you got to be able to laugh at yourself, man. Like the mark of a small person is somebody who can't laugh at themselves. If you can't like see humor in your own failures, and and if you can't really acknowledge your own shortcomings, you're gonna have a tough time in life, and you're certainly gonna have a tough time in any type of sales-based industry where you're gonna be judged by people. And Tom obviously just doesn't have that mental makeup where if you can't take criticism, man, you're not going to make it. Yeah. And you can't like be Richard Nixon and open enemy files on everybody that says something about you.
Fucking TRS.
That's just not how it works, man. You got to keep plugging along, dude. If you truly are passionate about what you're doing and you think your product is going to be worth buying, then you shouldn't give a shit what a few guys say on a website.
Yeah. Like the easiest way for them to make us irrelevant is to stop talking about us and focus on us and go make the game awesome and make us, throw shit on our faces and make us have to, crawl off.
Make us eat our words, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, you want to prove us wrong? Make a game that we want to buy, and then you could talk the shit to us. You could be like, "Whoa, what happened?"
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we sucked. I thought we were clown shoes.
So I got a quick question for the chat. I'm just curious if because we have this actually. Let's segue into the last thing here. I think we should talk about is the SOCOM remastered campaign and building this. What I'm curious though, just to kind of troll these two fuckers and actually I'm curious to see what the response is. If SOCOM remastered ended up being SOCOM 3 remastered, how many of you would actually get it? Right? Like signify.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I would still get that game.
You would get that shit.
The SOCOM single player
Dude,
was
I'd
like
buy
crack to me. I still remember having surgery and playing the SOCOM single player like fucking crack, dude. I played that shit all day, every day, all the way up to Admiral difficulty, dude. That shit was so fucking good.
Fuck yeah.
And any small maps on SOCOM 3, Combined Assault, those maps were gold. I love Citadel small. I loved that map that was like a quarry that was small. I loved all the small maps. But when you start talking about bringing out like the Humvees, the fucking tanks, the 16 versus 16, the M16s with the high scope, dude, I don't want to play that SOCOM.
Tell you what, how can you not have fun running over some fucking noob sniper running across the desert with a fucking fat pack on?
Whoa.
Dude, that was so my God.
I love running people over,
it was fun.
but it's gotta be on Halo. I play SOCOM for tactical.
Oh.
No, it was fun, but you have to agree the intimacy and the the immersion of SOCOM 2 was just a better end product. I mean, it was fun cruising around and hearing the splat when you ran somebody over, but for pure actual gameplay, at the end of the day, SOCOM 2 rather was a more rewarding experience to play online.
That's why I always said that.
And
I always said SOCOM 2 was technically better because I think the 8v8 is better for SOCOM. I think it's a better third-person shooter platform. 8v8, smaller, like you said, intimate. I think that's better. I do. I definitely agree with that. But I mean, dude, look, again, maybe it's just me. I don't grow really attachments to things like that, like to games. So, for me, it's if I enjoy a game and it's fun, then I don't give a shit what the other past game was like. It doesn't matter to me. So
no, I'm saying purely to compare the two, given the choice to play one or the other, obviously, like, you're going to have a more rewarding experience in S2. I didn't hate S3. Obviously, I didn't like playing it in comparison to S2, but it had its moments and there were fun parts of it, and it wasn't a horrible game. And yeah, if they remastered S3, I'd buy that shit tonight because it's still better and I'd get more enjoyment out of that than anything going on in the gaming world right now. So that goes without saying. I mean, frankly, Combined Assault, if they had blood for that and they, did a couple other things, the single player was phenomenal. I played Combined Assault with all the instant action missions. I played all of them to the point where I had a notebook out where I had to write each mission down because it doesn't actually tell you which one you played to get up to a certain level. So I had to remind myself just through making my own list of what I had to play to get to what level, and it was phenomenal. And the single players are incredible. I ordered the 3-pack, like S1, S2, and Combined Assault, like 2 years ago. I made a thread about it, and I started playing S1, and I was going to play them all through. And when I got to Lieutenant Commander on POW camp on S1, it took me fucking 2 months to beat that level.
Oh, fuck.
That's awesome. Yeah. It was... Yeah, Combined Assault was. I mean, I love the maps from that game that they came out with for that game. Oh, that it was I guess for me, just running over people and fucking tanks and cars. I loved that. That was for me. That was by far my favorite part of that.
See, that's fun games for me. But the fact that was one fun part in an otherwise, it's like saying there was a good 5-minute scene in a 2-hour movie, whereas S2 was a great 2-hour movie all the way through. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just.
For me, I acknowledge that S2 on a technical level was better. I like 8v8 as opposed to 16 versus 16. I like that format better. I like that better. But having said that, 16 versus 16 didn't bother me either. It just didn't bother me that much either. I think fundamentally I'm just different because, like I said, when I address things, I'm not comparing them most of the time to something else. Like, I'm not going, oh, this
You're
game, I
viewing it
like
on
this
its own
game.
merit.
I enjoy it, but this other game did this. Like, I just try not to do that, and I try to keep everything separate.
I understand. You're viewing it on its own merits. I will say the one feature I really loved about S3, and I know with today's technology they'd be able to implement it perfectly, was the night or day you could choose for each map. I love that because I'm a bit partial to night maps. I kind of prefer the
Well,
the stealthier aspect to it. You kind of
Daytime Abandoned was better than Nighttime Abandoned.
Unfortunately, I didn't play S1 enough that I even really remember Daytime Abandoned.
What?
But I've heard from what I
I
didn't really play S1 online that much.
Yeah, I didn't play SOCOM.
I only had about probably 20 hours on there. I never found a clan, and I would always get team killed, and I'd play like 2 or 3 rounds. I remember playing a lot of Rat's Nest on there. And
that
a
was
lot
preemptive karma, bro. All the team killing you got done to you in S1 was preemptive karma for your bullshit in S2.
It turned him into Darth Vader, man. That's what did it.
Dude, the first fucking time I played S1, I went and specifically bought the fucking Ethernet adapter. I got the internet hooked up specifically to play on PlayStation, and I spawned in Rat's Nest. And I jumped into the middle of a team kill session, and somebody sprayed me right in the back the second I spawned. So from that moment on, like, I had a whole different kind of view on how to play the game. And, that's definitely, there's a lot of truth to that. But I think, like, can you imagine, though, like, this is how I look at it. Can you imagine if you had the S2 maps remastered in HD, right?
Yeah.
With the ability to toggle night, day, dusk, dawn, and dynamic weather. I mean, just that alone, I mean, it's exponential, the combinations of maps you could, like, I mean, how awesome would that be? Like, you would have, whatever, you start out with just, I don't even know, for example, maybe Blizzard. Well, Blizzard's a bad example because obviously it's going to be snowing, but maybe Crossroads, whatever. Yeah. And then you have dynamic weather. So round 1, it starts off as high noon, and then as you get to round 4, now it's like 5 p.m. and the shadows are different.
Cool.
And then as you get to round 8, it's different. And then maybe by round 8, maybe some rain starts and it's nighttime. Yeah. It gives it a completely different feel, all within the same round. Just doing that alone,
that's a fucking good idea.
That on its own.
Like, I think if a SOCOM remaster does come out, I'd love to see truly customizable characters with cosmetics and shit, where you can just totally deck out your guy and whatever you. And I mean cosmetically. I don't mean you can buy a gun and have the best gun because you had the money to buy it. I just mean cosmetically, you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fucking sweet too. I think the technology for
within reason. Like, I wouldn't want to see a bunch of faggots with rainbow colored fucking boots and shit like that.
Guys
like,
wearing tie-dye
I mean,
camo.
I mean, like gold guns. I mean, within reason. I agree with that. But they should be unlockable, obviously, from playing the single player.
Yeah.
But I was always a big proponent of having a different, just changing the time of day on a map. You know what? How about this? How about Sandstorm? There's a good example.
Yes.
Sandstorm is a night map, and it's one of my all-time favorite maps. But can you imagine the dynamic change if it was broad daylight? Now you can't necessarily jump as a terrorist as easily because your visibility is completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would change up the entire strategy of a match. Now, put that in while you have dynamic time changes during the match. So you'd have to go from a certain strategy because of visibility in the first early rounds to completely changing it up. So let's say you're a SEAL and it's night when you start. If you could steal a couple rounds early, by the time it brightens up and goes to day, that's a really big advantage now because you took those harder matches when it was dark out and the terrorists had kind of an advantage. Or Anawapi at night. Anawapi, very dark, would totally shift the whole dynamic with the SEALs versus the terrorists because visibility would be so low.
Anawapi without fog.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how I think of stuff because I'm just such a fan, and I'm really like, I really think they did it right the first time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see new maps and everything like that, but I think they did such a great job of having such a variety of maps with S2 that they really hit a home run the first time. Like, there's really, ever since then, I mean, really, have we seen a map that compares to anything S2 did, other than maybe Citadel, which a lot of people like, and a couple others?
Oh,
There's no maps that really strike a chord,
shit.
you know, as far as being.
Go
ahead.
Interrupt you. Serious. Oh shit. Here we go. You ready? Sujo. This is some smoky. Sujo. Seal map or terrorist map?
That's about the skill of your group.
Oh, really. Christ, here we go again. Where's HTK? We need HTK on this map.
I'm going Seal, just because I like the challenge
map, dude.
Technically, is it technically a Seal map? Technically, I don't think so. Could the Seals win? Obviously, yeah, but I mean, I'd rather play. I always like to play Seals on that just because of the challenge factor. But yeah, but
that's the problem. It's cognitive dissonance from people because we're all superior SOCOM players, obviously, because we're passionate about the game. So we're gonna have a higher level of skill. So for us, we say, yeah, we like playing the Seals on Sujo. But from a purely technical perspective, it's a terrorist map, dude. Like, it's just set up that way.
I mean, like, isn't every breach map set up to be terrorist friendly?
Well, I mean, this is how it is. Anawapi is 80-20 terrorists. Sujo is about, depending, but it's about 66-33 terrorists, and Sandstorm is about 55-45 terrorists.
I guess.
And they.
I guess a good way to frame it would be like if you had two clans, one on Seals, one on terrorists, both who knew their side, like their. If you had the Seals who knew exactly what to do with Seals on that map, and you had terrorists who knew exactly what to do with terrorists on that map, who would win more often?
The terrorists.
Think
because
so?
if your first two spawners on terrorists know what they're doing,
yeah,
they can jump the fence and they can pin the Seals back to the point where everything after that you already control 70% of the map, and you can corner camp on them. Like, you can go to the half wall on the right, and you can block that. And then you'll have the people say, yeah, but we know how to counteract that because we would just hang back, wait for them to finish their grenades, and then we'd throw our grenades after they were done, and we'd get them while they were coming up. But the reality is it's a terrorist map. Played properly, every spawn point played properly by the terrorists will result in victory. Now, if you took that initial front spawn away from the terrorists, then I would say it's an even map, and maybe slightly Seals. But those first two spawn points for terrorists are just too valuable.
Yeah, I agree.
Because once you hit that dumpster and you jump that first breach, you know how to place your grenades properly. Those Seals can't go anywhere. So you just bought your team like 15 seconds to literally get set up behind you and cover every corner.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree.
If you took a team of 8 smoky Seals and 8 smoky terrorists, and they all played perfectly, it's a terrorist advantage map. That, in conjunction with the fact the Seals have to plant the bomb and explode the place or they lose, right? So that alone tilts it to the terrorists, because if a tie basically goes to the terrorists, that alone makes it a terrorist map.
But can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
yeah, you're good.
Because my video, I think my camera just, is my video feed still up or no?
I couldn't tell you. I can't see.
No,
I'm not allowed to look at the live feed.
Yeah, my camera turned off for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it got tired. But anyways, I think we can maybe wrap this up. But we just, I guess to finish off, just with SOCOM Remastered and building the list, for everybody that's in here, if you don't know about this, There's been a big push over the past week or so, or a few days, by Big Fry and a few other people, to get Sony is looking to put together this list, and they call it building the list. And they're looking for feedback from communities and fans on what games they want remastered. So obviously we want SOCOM, and it's had a big push recently. There's a petition online that's got like 2,500 signatures or almost 3,000 signatures on it. Do we have any links we can post in the chat? The people that they can go to look at that, or I can maybe pull it up and see.
The SOCOM Remastered?
Yeah, the SOCOM Remastered petition.
I bet if you Google SOCOM Remastered, that shit's up there.
Yeah, I got it here. So there's a petition going, which is here. So you guys can go sign that if you haven't signed it already. And then, you know, go on, if you have Twitter, go on Twitter and just as much as you can blast that shit. Hashtag building the list. Tag as many people as you can. Spread it. And yeah, Cena Moore says here, twitter.com/SOCOM Remastered. So just want to try to push that and see what we can get out of this. I think we've gotten the guy who runs the list to kind of acknowledge us and basically say, you know, holy shit, like, okay, guys, I get the point. Awesome, I love it. Just keep it coming. So are you guys excited about that, or you think it's got a chance?
In response to Paul Awal, triple OG Paul Awal, Mack is definitely naked, and Tawok does not have a buzz cut. Tawok has a very bald head.
Remember, he's fat, overweight, in his mom's basement. He's got piss bottles all over the place.
Yes.
Piss
and
jugs.
an underrated dead hooker.
But
no, I mean, are we gonna? You want to go on this real fast? Just my take on everything. I think it's awesome. I think it was a pleasant surprise to see how the whole remastered thing kind of blew up real fast there for a sec, and hopefully we can continue to build on that. I'd like to say, like, you know, good job to Celerity. He was a big part of that, like, initially getting it going, and Big Fry too. He had a lot to do with really giving it a push. So both of those guys, good job. And yeah, it really was a pleasant surprise with Gio Corsi, and you know, to see that. I think there is something still there, and I think if we can kind of keep a slow burn on this, you know, not let it fizzle out, but don't keep going crazy on it, but just keep a slow burn, keep it visible, and then try to figure out and time the whole billboard thing. I think maybe something special could happen, you know. But we can't rush anything. We really gotta we gotta be like a sniper here, man. We gotta wait for our shot, because you can't just start spraying and praying. We gotta make sure shit's timed right. We gotta coordinate. But I think if done properly, I think we can make a big splash and maybe potentially get what we've all kind of been clamoring for here for 10 years.
Yeah, Tawok, what do you think?
I've been spamming the chat, man, just saying that SOCOM Remastered, building the list, that's our real positive movement. You know, we're hating on H-Hour because this is a fucking corpse. We're beating the dead horse right now. We're having a good time. We're hanging out with friends that we've talked to and talked shit to for so long. But at the end of the day, we've just got to push this positive movement. We have a lot of great effort with this building the list and with SOCOM Remastered. We've got a splash, and we just got to keep moving forward with that. I mean, that's all I'm moving for right now. And I'd love to see us under a unified game. Like, if I could see, like, 6 to 8 TRS members on Insurgency or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, that would make me so happy. Or even X-Link, fuck it.
Yeah, and I would just love to save money too, man. Like, when I have to go out and actually socialize and spend money on booze and stuff, and rather just buy a game and stay home on the weekends.
Hey, look, Flex has stopped by the stream.
What's that?
Well,
Plexus
nobody
is in the
cares
stream.
about him anyway.
Yeah,
So
he's a fucking micro blip on
well,
Tom's nuts.
yeah,
We already talked
yeah.
about it anyway.
Yeah, we talked about him for the 4 seconds he deserved to be talked about.
He acts like the website that we all frequent,
So-
that you can't even get to come up on Google results, has such a big splash in the SOCOM universe. Like, yeah, we got a lot of fucking really vocal SOCOM fans, but there's no way that the real SOCOM, even if we went full-blown, we could not destroy the chances for another SOCOM. If another SOCOM was profitable, a fucking company would make it, regardless of the vocal community that exists 12 years later.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess we can end with maybe some last questions. If anybody in the chat has any questions or statements.
Yeah, definitely. Any last questions? You guys want to tell us we suck? You want to focus on our personal appearances? Or maybe how my chair is shitty? If you guys want to go for that really, really shallow hyperbole shit where it's like, well, I can't refute the good points that these guys made, so I'm going to make fun of Tawok's chair that's 10 years old.
Yeah, you got to punch
so you guys
up.
Know,
Don't forget, guys, always punch
glorious.
up.
It's getting to hipster length.
And don't forget, don't forget that I'm afraid to show myself on camera. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm on a phone. It's because I'm afraid. And I'm fat, unemployed, bald. I have pee bottles in my room, and I have micro penis. Oh, and horrible acne. And I haven't been late 5 years.
Animal wanted to know where I got that male model looking profile pic from. I had it professionally taken by your mom.
Oh fuck!
That is
SOCOM
a pro
2 is better than
shot.
SOCOM 3.
You could tell that's a pro shot.
No, but I did have it professionally taken for work stuff.
I know you did, you fucking homo. But it's a good one though, because if you're in a client-based industry, you need to have something,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Don't be mad because you look good in pictures. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But people keep with Mack, right? Like you see the picture there, like that is Mack. That's what Mack looks like. He's the fucking Dice Man reincarnate. Like if you saw him, he literally looks exactly like that.
Fuck you, man. I don't look like a fat old Jew.
Mack has Mackney.
Just for the record, I do not look like a fat old Jew from Brooklyn. I'm Irish.
I'm Irish. I just sound like a fat old Jew from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, is there any good reason why all these games, such as Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, and even where did it go? Even Shenmue get funded, yet SOCOM has or hasn't? Why is that? My only guess would be that it's either one of two things. Sony either knows something that we don't in terms of numbers and statistics that they've seen that aren't justifying their decision to do it, or they just don't have faith in it or something. The third thing is, too, they could just be letting everything die down because SOCOM has had a decline for a long time, and they could be just letting the dust settle, and then once it settles, they're going to bring it back. It's certainly possible. That would make sense. So, I don't necessarily...
Yeah, I think it's just a reluctance to not... those games are guaranteed moneymakers. Like, as far as remasters, they don't cost that much to do, correct? So if they have something they know they can remaster and it's a buyer's market as far as first-person shooters go, and that's the only dance in town, just keep cranking them out. You don't really want to go against the grain.
It wouldn't take any work to redo the SOCOM single player. They would just have to upscale the textures and upscale it to 1080p. The real problem is they would have to completely do the networking infrastructure. And I think the cost of redoing the infrastructure greatly outweighs the possible profits they could make from the game.
Now, is that true? Because I've heard I don't know. I have no way of confirming this. It's just speculation. But somebody said something about the code being lost. Wouldn't they have to redo the entire code from the floor up because it's from the PS2. Like, has that been lost? I mean, with first-person shooters, it's really the lazy man's development because you don't have to do animations for jumping or running or anything. All you have to do is bob the screen up and down. So, I mean, obviously, from a programming perspective, first-person shooters are much easier to do because all you have to do, graphic-wise, is just do the surroundings. To actually, for third-person, where you actually have to have a character that interacts with the environment and his position and body stance and things like that change, and every time something in the environment changes, I would think, now I know nothing about programming, but that in and of itself would be a difficult, or at least make it more difficult than doing a first-person shooter. I mean, look, one of my major beefs with first-person shooters is when you have to climb a ladder, and basically the fucking camera just slides up a fucking ladder.
Yeah.
Like that's what really irritates me. Yeah, like it's just so fucking irritating. It's just really like you're playing a first-person shooter, and then when you get to certain interactions, like climbing a ladder or jumping, you kind of feel like the developer left work early that day. Like you couldn't do any better than just bobbing the screen up and down.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Yeah, question.
No, I've heard that actually American gaming companies, and I've heard this because you guys may know I'm a fucking programmer, so I follow all these stupid little subreddits for programming and shit. And I've heard that American game development companies are notorious for being like, oh, well, SOCOM's dead, and that's like 4 gigs on our database, so delete that shit. We're never going to deal with that shit again. But that's just something
so they never had.
So
they don't have like they're not real sentimental as far as keeping shit around. Yeah. I could see that. Like Slopes are big on like history and ancestors and shit, so maybe they keep stuff around,
Let's try to move on so we can get as many questions. Didn't Snipe have a question? I know he's asked it a couple times.
Yeah, we had a really good question from Snipe asking whether or not, if Tom were to come out and make a grand apology and really flip his script on almost everything we disagree with, would we accept it? And personally, I would. If he were to come out and make a really grand post being like, hey, the David Sears thing is fucked up, banning you guys is fucked up, charging $25 for the game is $10 too much, I would buy the game and I would get back to supporting it. But Swill and Mack might not, maybe not feel the same way.
You want to go, Swill, or you want me to go?
No, I mean, I agree 100%. I think we touched on this in the last Haters Ball. I mean, I've always said that if it's, again, my position of wanting to see the game in the studio fail has nothing to do with just hatred for no reason. It's just I don't want to support. I don't believe that poor behavior deserves rewards, and I'd rather not get a game that I want than see somebody count my cash while treating me like shit. I just refuse to support that. So, and that's just not in video games. I'm the same way in a lot of different things. So, but if Tom came out and said, oh yeah, listen, the way we've been has just been wrong, and I apologize, and if he was sincere about it, then yeah, I would have no problem flipping my stance and supporting them. But then again, we live on fucking planet Earth. We don't live in Neverland, so that's never going to happen. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like we said before, we are a forgiving bunch. I mean, if he was sincere and genuine with his with his apology and with his contrition, I would have no problem. I mean, who am I to judge? We've all done things that we're not proud of, and I don't know. Yeah, there's not much more to say. Yeah, if he apologized and I felt it was sincere and he was contrite and he meant it and moving forward he wanted to do the right thing, I'd absolutely support the game. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Did we miss any other ones? Last chance for questions. What's everyone's thought? What's everyone's thoughts on Pink? Yeah, I think that's a rag we've shaken too many times now.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know her. She's a woman, so basically she's irrelevant unless she's making me a sandwich or She has my cock in her mouth. That's about it.
All right, Jungle. Jungle asks, how are you guys going to treat Suede when he comes back? We want that to happen desperately. Like, we really want Suede to come back, and we would welcome him with open, loving arms immediately.
I would treat him like the same source of amusement he's always been. You know, I would basically just do what I do and wait for him to obsess over me and begin to like my posts and quote my posts and clamor for my attention. And then based on how annoyed he got me, I'd reply to him. And then the hilarity would ensue from there.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all love Suede in a selfish way. I think
that's the thing with Suede, man. He joined like right around when I joined, and for the longest time, he was a pretty cool guy, and he actually stayed pretty leveled. But once he flipped to that Flavor Flav icon, shit changed, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, the thing with him is, and I recall very, very vividly, and yeah, like you said, he was always cool. I never had an issue with him. When he made his post about how we all overreacted and we this and we that. And I said, what do you mean we, white man? Like, if you want to say that you overreacted, but he was talking about we acted like idiots and we should do. And I was like, listen, if you want to speak for yourself, that's fine. But, like, I don't feel I overreacted to the David Sears issue, and neither does anybody else. And from there, he kind of just started spitting out a lot of like really nasty comments and everything after that, and then it just kind of went down the drain after that. I mean, it was really all on him, and then he really just started becoming very, you know, combative and abrasive, and that was that. I mean, initially, I never had an issue with the guy, and until I called him out and said that he vacillates a lot and he flip-flops a lot, then all of a sudden he started getting personal and started getting all upset and throwing out, like, you know, insults and smart-ass comments, and that was that. And then he kind of, you could see him melt down after that. So, yeah. But I'd love to have him back.
Yeah, me too. I hope he comes back, but I don't know. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I think we should finish though with a little tidbit here.
Yeah.
We're finished. At one point we had like 150, 120 people on. We completely smashed TieDie's bullshit weak attempt to counter our shit. So I think he had like 25 or 30 people or something in his. So we handled that.
25. And HR peaked at 25 too, man. Even TieDie's combined numbers with HHOUR, we smoked them by double.
As of right now, 2.5 hours later from when we started, we're sitting at 44, 45 people. There are 28 players on HHOUR right now. So.
Pretty sad.
So, yeah, I guess we're...
Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think Haters Ball 3. Should we do it up soon?
Well, the thing
I guess we need some security.
Depending on the news.
Well, Eco and Nostalgia asked me to get into Redline, and I was like, I don't know, man. If you ask me to get into Redline, it's going to be like another hour. So maybe Haters Ball episode 3 might have a little Redline action in it.
Yeah.
And we can talk about Tawok's interactions with Redline after the last time it blew up with TRS. Because I haven't talked to many people about that. I think I've talked to you guys about that briefly and about like the emails I've sent with them, but I haven't gone public with that shit.
Yeah,
I'm actually.
Go ahead, Mack. What were you saying?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, we can do that next time. I'm actually gonna try to freshen up and head down to the bar for last call. So unless there's any other questions, we just probably wrap it up, right?
Everybody in the chat, Tawok hosted this, so check out his. We're gonna do a little shameless self promotion here. If you don't like it, fuck off. But this is Tawok's channel, so kind of he hosts these Haters Ball for us, which is awesome. But he does gaming, other gaming stuff too. So make sure you kind of spread the word about that a little bit, and then make sure you also spread this SOCOM remastered, building the list. Talk about this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Chances like this are what we need, to get it back, and it's a legitimate thing, and it may come to nothing. Who knows? But we need to push hard while we can and try and get the most out of it. And then as for our Haters Ball 3, I'm sure this game and this studio and these clowns, they'll keep giving us material. So I don't know when the next one will be, but we kind of just do these Haters Balls based on when we think we got the right time. And all the fucking swirls are swirling at the right moment. So you'll definitely hear about it if we throw.
Yeah, if enough turds drop in the toilet, we can hit the flush button.
Yeah. So we kind of want to be different. We don't want to just come on here and talk about the usual stuff. So, but like I said, we got a lot of clowns out there that are just going to keep feeding us material. So as long as we keep getting the material, we'll keep pumping them out. So, but. Thanks for coming out, and I'm Swill, Tawok, and Mack, and hit us up on the forums if you want to chat, call us bitches or whatever. So. All right.
Cool, guys. Well, that's going to do it for the second episode of the Haters Ball.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
This is Tawok, Swill, and Mack signing off.